Motherfucker. What's good, y'all? Ya Clout Podcast. Your boy Mike Sears, as always. Sorry for the delay. It's all my fault being late. Bunch of fucking problems. Came home late. Computer crashes. And I'm with my good brother Nitro, my boy Mike Glindmyer. How you doing, brother?
Oh, great, man. Good to be back again. This should be a really good one too, as well. This discography for sure.
Oh yeah, I can't wait, man. I can't wait. I've been gearing up for it all week, and then when shit happens like that, it's like, yo, why me on a good, like, every fucking show this happens, it seems like. When it comes to, like,
that
metal
Pantera one, we had to get it working too, so it should be good,
man.
though.
It don't happen like with regular episodes. When I got like a metal show, it's like I don't know, like I'm cursed or some shit. But yeah, today, man, we're talking about Metallica. You know, some say the most famous metal band in the world. I'm not gonna argue with that at all. You know, everyone knows who the fuck they are. You know, you got a lot of posers rocking that shirts, never hit one fucking song. But
like me.
Oh fuck no, dude. Man, you know, like these fucking, you know, these millennials, man. They don't know what the fuck they're listening to. But yeah, man. Trying to break this shit down. And like we do every show on an artist we never talked about before. And since you're the guest, Mike, how did you discover Metallica?
So Metallica is, well, I think a lot of people who know me know that Maiden's probably my favorite band, but Metallica was like my first love, if you will. Like the first real girl that you're like, oh, this is what this is. So as a young kid, my dad had like a lot of different records. So I listened to like ZZ Top, AC/DC, and when I was really young, like under 10, like I gravitated towards like Van Halen and Dokken were the two. Like I loved the guitar stuff when I was a kid. And then I started branching out on my own around like, I think around 10 years old. I finally got, because the Black Album was already out by that point. I was born in 82. So, you know, I heard a couple of the singles very young because there were, you know, MTV used to play music back then. So,
yeah.
I remember getting the Black Album was the first album of theirs I got, loved it. And then I started going back with like Master of Puppets, and it just blew my mind. Like, I mean, I liked the Black Album. It was fun. It was very different than what I was currently listening to, a lot heavier. But then once I got Master of Puppets, like it just kind of like totally opened my mind as to what music could do. I couldn't believe like when I first heard Battery kicking, like how fast the drums were, because I'm a drummer, and that was like my drumming infancy at that point. And I just could not believe the speed. I'm like, how are they doing that? You know, it's one of those weird moments, and then you learn as you get older. But yeah, Metallica was by far my first gateway heavy metal band, and they hold a special place for me for sure. Like I said, they were my first love. They were like my first, like my band. This was my band.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's how I pretty much discovered Metallica very young.
Same here with me. You know, before I even started collecting music, man. So I seen the Enter Sandman video and I fucking loved it. You know, I love that riff. I was like, it's like 92, so what am I, fucking 8, 7, somewhere around there? And I was like, man, I like that. But it wasn't until 1995 when my uncle showed me Ride the Lightning. And that's when I had albums already, you know what I mean? I had cassettes and stuff. So as soon as I heard that, I went back, got Puppets, Lightning, Justice, the Black Album, Kill 'Em All was the last one I got. And then we'll get into when the first Metallica album that dropped when I was actually a fan was Load, and we'll get into how disappointed I was with that. But ever since then, when I heard Ride the Lightning and I started copping the cassettes, I was just floored with this band. You know, I rented the A Year and a Half in the Life of, you know, documentary, which is amazing.
Oh, I bought that, believe me. And I watched it like, I have the 2 VHS, you know,
yeah,
now they're on DVD, but
yeah, I got the DVD.
I played that ad nauseum.
Oh, fuck yeah. I'm going to get in a little bit of that too, man, once we talk about the Black Album. But that shit was amazing. But ever since then, man, I never looked back. You know, they had their super highs, they had their lows, and we'll get into that. Well, For those who know who Metallica is, Metallica, consists of, well, right now it's James Hetfield guitar, vocals, Kirk Hammett lead guitar, Lars Ulrich drums, and Rob Trujillo on bass. But when they first started, Lars put an ad out in the paper looking for a guitarist, vocalist, singer, whatever, and he found James. They hooked up, got Ron McGovney. He was on bass, and they got Dave Mustaine. And man, the shit that Dave Mustaine put Ron McGovney through, man, it's fucked up.
It is, but it's kind of funny too. I mean,
yeah, he like electrocuted him. He poured like a beer in his bass and shit. I was like, damn, man. Dave was fucking crazy. In my opinion, the creator of that sound, that crunchy fucking guitar, you know what I mean? And they found Cliff at the Troubadour, and I know all this information from being like a little kid, like what 98 that Behind the Music debuted, the Metallica Behind the Music. I used to watch that all the fucking time. Yes, it's mainstream as fuck, but I didn't have no internet back then. I didn't know none of that shit, and that taught me a lot about Metallica. And
dude, those are awesome. Like those were when I was in high school. Like I even watched bands I didn't even like. I just love that stuff.
Hell yeah! I watched fucking what, ABBA and shit. I forgot what else they showed on.
Oh, dude, Milli Vanilli was a great one. That was a wild one. And like some of the bands you wouldn't think were wild were very wild. Going back to before actually Dave Mustaine was the guitarist, Lloyd Grant was on that Metal Massacre. I know it's a footnote, but I mean, a little shout out to Lloyd Grant, man. He played on that Metal Massacre demo where Lars basically had a spot on a record with no band because he just I will probably touch upon this as we go forward, but right in the beginning, you can see Lars was a very driven. He knows how to network before network was really a thing. He was. He gets a lot of hate, but I think I think people who met Lars really liked him and could see he was very enthusiastic. I'm gonna say Metallica would not be where they are today without Lars Ulrich. He was the real kind of manager of the band, and James is the songwriter primarily, but Lars is the guy who seemed to, when everyone says Metallica made so many right moves, like they couldn't do anything wrong. Yeah. Lars was the one really steering the ship for a long time with that.
Yeah, man. Yeah, the Metal Massacre. I'm glad about the Metal Massacre demo up too. Brian Slagle got him that gig with Metal Blade and all that.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, man, they got rid of Ron McGovney, and then they ended up getting Cliff Burton, the late great Cliff Burton at the Troubadour. He was in a band called Trauma, I believe. Fucking, my memory serves me correct.
Yeah, and, they were like progressive, heavy.
Yeah,
and Cliff wanted to do thrashier, heavier music, and a lot of this you actually learn, like those big box sets that they have been.
Oh yeah, they're fucking beautiful. Yeah.
Yeah, so I have 3 of them. I have the Lightning Puppets and Justice one, and especially in the Puppets one, there's a lot of cool interviews. Like sometimes I just put them on my iPod when I'm at work, and that's where you really hear. And we'll get into the quote sellout stuff, but right in the beginning, they didn't want to do what everyone was doing. Like they were always trying to be one step ahead of everyone. So, I mean, I think we'll have some interesting opinions on when they musically change and how I actually feel about it. Yeah, I think that stuff will be kind of interesting to go into. But so Cliff in some of those interviews was talking about wanting to get heavier, and it took him a while to get that. To get with Metallica, he didn't want to go to LA. Hated that scene because he was kind of a more laid back guy.
LA sucked.
That video, with Dave.
And he said, "Go to San Francisco. Only way he'll be in Metallica." And they did. And man, Cliff was not Cliff. Dave Mustaine was out of control. They ended up firing him. And the classic line that Dave always says, "What? No second chance, no warning." He always talks about that.
And then he goes, "When's my plane leave?"
Yeah. And James like, "I know it's kind of harsh, wake up, bye." But they kicked him out. And I always think, what would Kill 'Em All sound like if Mustaine was like playing on that shit, man? Should have been crazy, But
I think it would have been a little bit faster because even if you listen to the No Life for Leather demo, Metallica, like, you know, yeah, they were a fast band, and like when Kill 'Em All came out, no one played that fast, but by their own standards, they had already brought the tempos down a little bit for Kill 'Em All from where it was on No Life to Leather. And even Dave Ellefson talks about when he first met Dave Mustaine, like he had heard, like when Kill 'Em All came out, he goes, "Well, these songs are a lot slower than what you are showing me how they were originally written and how the demo sounds." You know what I mean?
Yeah, interesting shit right there, man. And they get Kirk Hammett from Exodus to join, and they meet up with Johnny Zazula, if that's how you're saying his name. He's from Megaforce Records. He signed them, and they began recording this masterpiece right here. So I wish our fucking camera was working so I could show the albums off. I got all the discography I'm looking at right now. 1983, Kill 'Em All, man.
I have some special things near me, but I don't have that album yet. Like near me.
Yeah, it's all good, brother.
But I have some cool stuff, you know, if you want to take a look at when we get into other things.
Oh hell yeah. No doubt. Definitely show that shit off. Man, I love this album, man. Hit the Lights straight out the gate. Amazing song. You know, James Hetfield really young on this album. You can hear it. That was like 19 or some shit. The Four Horsemen is, you know, Dave Mustaine wrote that. Man, that shit is amazing. Horsemen drawing nearer, leather steeds they ride. Love that shit. The riffage is fucking crazy. Motor Breath is great. My favorite song on the album, though, is underrated as fuck, and that's Phantom Lord.
Yeah, it's a really good one.
Yeah, dude.
Not my favorite, but it's a top 3. So we should do top 3 like we did with Pantera, because I think it'll be kind of fun to see. But that's easily my top 3. It's probably number 2. But hell yeah, dude. You know why? It's dripping with Dave Mustaine, and I'll let you continue, but oh my god.
Yeah, that's okay, brother. Hell yeah. Love that shit, man. Second favorite song on the album, you know, it's fucking known. Everybody knows it. Seek and Destroy, dude. You can't go wrong with that fucking song, man. Just the riff, the fucking chorus, that running on your way hiding. Like I get chills when I hear that. You know what I mean? It's like throw your fucking heart and shit, man. I love that shit, and that's why I wish there was more footage with Cliff, because all that shit was getting like bootleg and tape trader shit back then, like the first 3 albums. You know, and I got on the Cliff 'Em All VHS that I used to have. I got the DVD now. I used to always watch the performance of that. It was like in some fucking town. It was like mad grainy, but it was a dope performance. I love that performance. And then
did you have the album Cliff 'Em All video cassette too?
Yeah. Cliff 'Em All, yeah. It was on that one, yeah. Amazing shit right there. The Major Rager on a 4-string motherfucker, man. Yeah, man.
Which Dave Mustaine started saying that, and then Dave. Yeah,
Mustaine gave him that moniker, yeah. Then he got Anesthesia pulling teeth, man. The fucking bass solo from Cliff, and then the drums come in from Lars, and it's fucking amazing, man. Kill 'Em All is a great, great debut album. Man, I'll let Mike talk about Kill 'Em All, man, but then I get to my top 3 after.
So for me, Kill 'Em All is you know, James, even though when he started out with Lars, was still pretty new with guitar. And you can really hear, I mean, I really consider Dave Mustaine the thrash metal archetype.
I'm with you.
James has his own style. James is kind of more like, I think I heard it written in the press about Peace Cells, like where Megadeth kills you with speed and precision. Metallica does it with like power and aggression. They're both they explain both bands very well. So James definitely got his own style, but in the very beginning, you can hear Dave bringing that lightning pace crunch that, and then, you know, then Metallica started on their own. So for me, this album, my favorite stuff generally is the Dave Mustaine penned things for me. So, and also very interesting period when these guys were playing live. James is pretty much an introvert, and Dave Mustaine was kind of the front man without singing. He would do almost all the talking between songs. Because I have some bootlegs and stuff, and Dave is the guy who is known as Evil Dave. He was like sporting the Venom shirts, and he was wearing upside down crosses because he was really into the witchcraft at that
All the
time. You know,
motherfucking bullet belts and shit. Hell yeah.
yeah, Dave was wild, and Dave's attitude was when they brought Dave. He kind of not only playing wise was a great fit to push this band forward, because remember, Lars wasn't that great. I mean, on the record they sound fine, but really, you know, how many takes did it really take? You know, Lars wasn't that great. James was okay. Cliff was amazing, obviously. But if you think about that band before Dave, it's Ron, James, and Lars. Dave was like the seasoned player, even though he was only a year older. But Dave was so far ahead of them musically that I think it really gave Metallica, and it gave them the attitude that they needed going like that. All I really look at Kill 'Em All as like kind of like Dave's real stamp on Metallica and what he brought to the band, and where he, you know, they were here and he took them here. And then they went on their own way. So for me, and this album is easily one of my favorite debut albums. I'd probably put it third behind Maiden's. I mean, Maiden's almost flawless, their debut album. Black Sabbath. And actually, you know what's a sneaky, amazing debut album? It's probably my favorite album by that band is Overkill's Feel the Fire, actually. That album is
that's great shit. Underrated.
So good. Yeah, it's easy. Like, I mean, if you don't put it 1, I can't see how you can't put that album 2 or 3 in their discography. That because it's got like, you know, it's the metal of this time where the thrash bands were taking the new wave of British heavy metal sound, making it faster, but there's still a lot of melody here. So, yeah, I mean, I don't know if I kind of rambled down there, but that's how I love Kill 'Em All. And it took me so many years. Like, I recently saw Metallica for the first time when they came to Albany, New York in October. Oh, yeah, when you hear Seek and Destroy, my brother and I were like, oh, my, yeah. I mean, wait our lives to hear that song. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's
screaming to the top of our lungs.
Every lyric, right?
Oh, my God, yeah. I had to drop my son off at daycare the next morning, and the woman's like, "Oh, are you sick?" I'm like, "No." I was like, "No, it's not a concert." I'm getting like so.
Yeah, man. I was fucking love it.
I raged. I had 2 beers and I sang for 2.5 hours straight. It was awesome.
I bet, brother. I fucking bet. Man, top 3 for me on this motherfucker right here, man. Phantom Lord, Seek and Destroy, and got to go with the Four Horsemen, man. That's just too classic. That's my top 3 right there, man.
My top 3, they might not be the best 3. Number 1, Seek and Destroy.
Oh, yeah. Oof.
Number 2, Phantom Lord. And number 3, and again, this one drips. I mean, this is Dave Mustaine through and through. Metal Militia. That riff is a dig. If you've ever listened to a Megadeth song, that is if you hear that first riff, that is easily Dave. And especially that riff, that see, that's what Dave brought. He brought an unorthodox style to it. Yeah. But then Dave would later go on and do more complicated rhythms and sing over them. Like, unbelievable. If you actually, on a side note, if you have time, I just saw on YouTube, Guitar World had Dave and Kiko playing through that song Fate Illusion from Dystopia.
Oh, Dystopia is so fucking good too.
Now he's not singing over it, but when you watch him play that odd time rhythm, that dun dun da 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 da, and you're like, how does he sing over that? Like, I was just like, Dave.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna give Dave a lot of praise in the early stuff of this because it's hard. It's so hard for me to choose between Megadeth and Metallica. They're so different, and I will give Dave credit because Dave is like. And did you see the Megadeth behind the music?
Yeah, I seen that too. Yeah, great shit. Dave used to like sell weed and fucking fuck bitches for like vinyls and shit. Hell yeah.
Yeah, man. That's how we got Killers.
Hell yeah.
So I had that on DVD like when I was in college because that was like 2000, and like I watched like the same DVDs over. It was like Old School. Remember that movie? was like
Yeah.
that, some I don't know, Adam Sandler movie, and then like the mega behind the scenes, and it had the extended cut, and he was talking. You know, Dave, to his credit, said when he got kicked out, he could have sounded just like Metallica, and he's right because you could argue or like birthed that sound, but he didn't want to sound anything like them, and he did it. And like that's why I give him so much credit. He forged two completely different sounds in thrash, and those are the two probably most copied sounds. You know what I mean? Like Death Angel was definitely wanted to be more like Megadeth. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, they even said it in that Get Thrash documentary.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Which was on my Rat Skates, by the way, from Overkill. And
great.
then you have your Testaments and your Forbiddens were more Metallica. You know what I mean? But it all comes back to Dave. It's so amazing. So
yeah, he's the god of thrash. There's no denying that. That motherfucker.
Yeah, he's the Tony Iommi of thrash. I mean,
oh, great comparison, brother. Hell yeah. No doubt about that.
Now you may. So you know, it depends on what you like. Do you like chunkier? Then you're gonna probably like James a little bit more. But and I'll give James credit too. He really came out of Dave's shadow when he was out of the band, and he became by far the best guitar player on Metallica, by far. So Metal Militia #3. I mean that song. Love it. Just love it.
Man, and it follows, you know, right after She Can Destroy. What a great way to end the album too, man. Damn.
Oh yeah.
What do you like on Speaking Cloud? We did a 5 mics. What are you giving? Tell them I'm giving it a 5, man. I can't give nothing less than a 5.
Probably go. I'm gonna get weird. Decimals. 4.7.
4.7.
Yeah, I mean, there's not a bad song on the album. It's a little primitive songwriting in spots, like, you know, Motor Breath is a fun song.
Yeah, the lyrics are kind of cheap. We'll never stop, we'll never quit, because we're Metallica, you know, shit like that.
Oh, but I like that. But I like the Whiplash one though. I like those lyrics better than the Motor Breath lyrics.
Yeah, I feel you.
And Hit the Lights classic song, but as great as Hit the Lights is, man, you put it up against Horseman and Jump in the Fire. Man. I mean, yeah. So I mean, that's why I love like the Dave stuff is so you can see how much more advanced usually the Dave co-written songs are than just the James songs are in this album, except for Seek and Destroy.
Oh, which is amazing. Like we said before. Hell
Absolutely.
Yeah, brother. Then Elektra picks them up. I think there's some freshmen that have
well, no, they didn't right away.
Yeah, because I was about to say there's some presents that Ride the Lightning got Megaforce logo on it, so I'm pretty sure it was still on Megaforce. Yeah.
I mean, I could just give you like a brief history. They record the album because they're still under Megaforce, and that's where all these huge deluxe box sets come in handy because they have like all those interviews. So here's the Ride the Lightning, obviously. I mean, so they record the album and they go to Denmark. Now, before they record,
it was a studio. I remember reading about that.
Yeah, the same place where I think Merciful Fate recorded, because Lars was they were all huge fans.
Oh, and we'll get into that later. Yeah,
and Lars is Danish, so now James was really starting to kind of sculpt his rhythm tone, ready to record, and all their stuff got stolen. I think on that Raven tour, like he had modified his Marshall amps. And they got stolen, so they had to kind of redo the sound. So no, it was originally done by Megaforce. They were still under contract, and Megaforce just couldn't keep up. They couldn't keep up. They were moving so many copies for an independent label that they eventually worked out a deal with the U.S. It was to have Elektra pick them up for 8 records, and I think Elektra picked them up for like a couple for worldwide distribution, but. You know, but Elektra obviously continued with them. And at the time, Elektra was their biggest bands were kind of like, you know, and they were making money for them, were like your Dawkins, and they have the same management as like Don Dokken had. Yeah. And it was like, why is Metallica, blah, blah, blah. Like they already started hearing crap, you know, after the album came out because of Fade to Black and just the intro to Fight Fire Fire, people freaked out, like the closed-minded thrashers.
Yeah.
Never mind the songs like at Mach 10 the whole time. They just hated the intro. and hated the song.
I heard about that. That's fucking insanity, isn't it?
It's stupid. It's so stupid.
Yeah.
And so then they had a little bit of blowback from that. And then once they heard who they were signing with and who their management, people are like, oh, these guys are completely sell. So they heard selling out on this record, which you listen to this record, like, how can anyone claim it's a sellout record? You know what I mean? But
yeah,
it is what it is, I guess.
Yeah, because it got influenced by, Cliff Burton's classical, influence, like those acoustic pieces and all that, like on Fight Fire with Fire. And man, my favorite song on here, which is Fade to Black. Absolutely adore that song, man. That shit, deep, dark, depressive shit about suicide. I worship that song. That's like, I don't listen to fucking classic rock radio or radio at all. You know what I mean? So I don't get sick of Fade to Black at all, man. When I did listen to classic rock radio when I was a kid, he played it a lot.
Yeah.
But it's amazing, man. That shit is amazing. But shit out the gate with Fight Fire with Fire. It just starts off acoustic, then gets fucking heavy as fuck. I love that shit.
It's probably one of James's like straight, like fastest songs, like without complicated picking.
The riff on that is amazing. Oh my god!
Check this out. So this is the single. This came with the deluxe box. Creeping Death. Yeah, man. So.
Oh man, it's badass, bro.
Oh yeah, cool. They really go the nines with these. I tell you.
Oh yeah, I've seen the books. Oh my god, I'm a sucker for a lot of pictures and shit. You know?
Oh yeah,
I was like, I love that shit.
While you're talking, go ahead.
Yeah, Ride the Lightning. That shit is amazing. I think Mustaine worked on that. If I'm not correct.
That's
look at the booklet.
And it's got that spider walk down. That's in Wake Up Dead. That you know, that riff in Wake Up Dead is in the middle of that of the Ride Lightning song. That's you can tell.
That's that beauty right there, man. I love that shit.
A lot of crazy things back in the day.
Then you got On the Bell Tolls, man. Oh my god, Cliff Burton is like fucking Hendrix on the bass, man.
I thought that was guitar the first time. Like the first few times I heard it, I didn't know a bass could sound like that.
Yeah, I know, dude.
I was like, that's so weird.
Then that day of the Green performance in '85. Oh man,
which is included in the box set. It's either a vinyl or a CD, but you get all the digital downloads. So if you don't use the vinyl player, you can just throw everything on your phone. It's awesome.
That's fucking great. And just that's like the cleanest, like visually, performance you're ever gonna get at Cliff. Oh, I love those pics. Yeah, those badass, man. Oh yeah. And it's the era when James had that, that white flying V.
Dude, look at Lars. See, look, he even coiffed that mullet back in '84. Aviators, look at those. He looks fly there, man. I tell you.
Fucking, the white fucking Nike kicks.
Yeah, this is a great. You can see all four of them. That's a really great shot, man, of all those guys.
That's badass. Cliff rocking fucking bell bottoms and shit like the '70s. He didn't give a fuck.
No,
I love Cliff Burton, man. He's a god to me, man.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Hell yeah, Trapped on the Ice is fucking great.
That song is super underrated.
Oh my god, it's crazy underrated, dude. I love that song, man. And one of my favorites that people don't fucking like, Escape.
It's probably my least favorite, but it's this album. I'm gonna tell you right now, it's a 5 out of 5.
Yeah, Escape reminds me of some fucking like new album shit. You know what I mean?
Totally. And with these box sets, like, what band Lars brought up constantly between like 80 and 88? Iron Maiden. He goes, we want to be like Iron Maiden, where we want to be mainstream, he said, but we don't want to be like dead in the middle. We want to do our own thing, be really popular. Like he modeled, and this is what I'm going to get into with like Lars driving that. They wanted to be popular. They wanted to do this as a career, but they wanted to do it their way, like Maiden did with, like, Killers, Remember the Beast. you know, say what you want about Maiden. Yeah, do they write long songs now? Yeah, but Maiden has always done what they want to do and have done it on their terms, essentially,
Yeah.
whether you liked it or not. And that attitude, Lars loved and was a huge fan of Steve Harris.
Oh yeah.
What, like 82, 83, when they were on the Sunset Strip, they saw Steve because, you know, they were on the tour, the Number of the Beast tour.
Oh fuck.
And Steve is such a down to earth guy. Lars was like, "Oh, we're like, oh, there's Steve Harris. Oh my God, what are we gonna say?" And James was freaking out, quiet, wouldn't say anything. And they said, "Hey, Steve." And Steve came over, talked to him for like an hour. He said,
Oh, that's fucking awesome. I never heard that story.
Yeah, Lars. It's in I think the Master of Puppets one. And he talked about like, oh my God, Steve Harris could have been a nicer guy. Talked to him about the strategy, and I think Lars really took hold of that and was like, "This is how we're gonna do it. We're gonna not just be a thrash band. We're gonna be Metallica, essentially." Like and this album really shows them starting to find their real sound. Like Kill 'Em All is thrash, yep, and they still have thrash songs. I mean, but Metallica, like with all originators, like Megadeth, they will always outgrow the scene that they start before it's even worn out. You know what I mean? Before people get tired of it.
Yeah, they're great at reinventing themselves. I'll say that. Well, to a certain extent, and later on, but man, Creeping Death is
that'll be fun.
Yeah, yes, I can't wait, dude. I'm gonna talk a lot of shit, but Creeping Death, that is incredible, man. That fucking Die by My Hand. Oh man.
That's why it's my number one song on the album.
It's my number two. That Die. Well, that live performance of that is fucking amazing.
And when my brother and I saw them, they played this song. We just looked at each other like we've been waiting like 25 years to just experience this, and it was really special to go with my brother who's never seen them either. So
yeah, that's a great.
Years younger than me, and it just. Dude, hearing those songs live brought me back to literally sitting down like I am now with headphones and my dad's record player playing these because I was buying vinyl. Yeah. I mean, I would just stare. Oh, I used to love those days when I had nothing to do but just stare at the liner notes. And oh my God, I can tell you.
Yeah. Same here. Like when I got Ride the Lightning early on, that fucking picture with them playing. I love that shit. You know what I mean? On the book, when you open the CD.
Like, oh, I wonder what they look like doing it. Oh, yeah.
So fucking cool, man. Call the Cthulhu. That's an amazing instrumental piece. Love that. Album is a masterpiece. I'll let Mike give some of his favorite songs and thoughts on this album. 1984, Ride the Lightning, man.
So you can really hear like James, his evolution as a songwriter with Kirk in the band and Cliff. And then you can still hear the Dave Mustaine influence with like Ride the Lightning and Call of Cthulhu, which was originally when Hell Freezes Over. This album is my second favorite Metallica album.
Same here.
It's a masterpiece. I mean, you really touch on. I mean, when my first band in high school I played in, we covered For Whom the Bell Tolls and Fade to Black were the first two songs we played as a band.
That's fucking awesome.
My three favorite songs are probably Creeping Death 1. Boy, this is a tough one. Fade to Black 2. And probably the title track 3 because I love all that Dave Mustaine stuff. And that instrumental, you can hear like the beginning, you know, that clean guitar part, that that's actually the same chord progression as Hangar 18. Like that it's played differently.
Yeah.
Which is really interesting how Dave took that chord progression and just wrote it like a lot of people without the ear would not know, but I was like, wait, this sounds like Call of Cthulhu. And I figured out that, it's literally the same chord progression. It just played, differently. Masterpiece on this album. Absolutely. Yeah. Trapped Under Ice, really underrated. I like Escape a lot. Great song. Really not much more to say about this. It's a perfect album and is number 2 in their discography, if that tells you anything.
Yeah, same here, bro. With me, like I said before, Fade to Black is my favorite song. That's just a masterpiece. Second for me is Creeping Death, and then my third is For Whom the Bell Tolls, man. Fucking great. 5 out of fucking 5. So I'm giving that.
And I would say, how you were talking about in the intro that, arguably I think Metallica is, if you want to just look at numbers and their influence, probably the number 1 heavy. They surpassed even the mighty Black Sabbath. They are the number 1 if you look at numbers, I think number 1 heavy metal band of all time. Like everyone knows who they are because of Enter Sandman, essentially. You know what I mean? Like you still can't go like to a sporting event without hearing that drum intro while you're waiting for the hockey players to like break a timeout or whatever. You know what I mean? Like that is really played everywhere, still to this day.
Crazy shit, man. And 1986 comes around, and you talk about perfect albums, perfect metal albums, and you don't get no more perfect than this. Like my favorite album of all time, metal-wise, is Volume 4, easily. That's a great one. Worship that album. But this is my number 2, man. This Master of Puppets, man. Man. Never gets old. I listened to it today. Just a flawless album. A lot of clips. Oh, fuck yeah. Damage Inc.
Yeah.
Go book of that, man. Fucking awesome shit. Cliff and a lot of his classical influences on here. Definitely. Straight out the gate with Battery, just the fucking like Fight Fire with Fire, slow acoustic intro, psychotic, beat your fucking head in, start to it after that. You know what I mean? Amazing shit. A lot of dark subject matter on here. Master of Puppets, about the drug dealers and shit like that, and people hooked on cocaine. Chop your breakfast on a mirror. I fucking always love that. Master. The bridge of the song is amazing. I love that.
But James had been playing that solo in the beginning of the bridge.
Talk about beauty.
And that's where you can see, like, James is like, I never wanted to be a lead guitar player because I wanted to put in the work. But if he wanted, that's why, like, just what he did with Master of Puppets, like the composing of it and his solo, and his right hand, you can tell he is the best guitar player of Metallica, and I don't even think it's debatable.
I agree, man. People might say Kirk. I love Kirk too, but man.
Oh yeah, I'm not shitting on Kirk, but I mean, and Kirk is a very underrated rhythm player because Metallica wouldn't have the same sound if they had a sloppy rhythm player. Who is, some lead guitarists they're not tight, but he can downpick with James, and that I'll give Kirk a lot of credit for that because that is not easy to do.
Right. Oh man, thing that should not be such a dark fucking song. Love that song. One of my favorites on here, Welcome Home Sanitarium. That never gets old. About how, like the mental patients being mistreated and shit like that. Man.
And the Thrashers hated that song. Hated it. So it's a sellout song. Lars talks about it in interviews with one of the guys, Michael from England. He goes, all the real Thrashers, they've already... They at this point, they said Metallica was dead to them, which is crazy. It's crazy.
Yeah, they need to fucking kill themselves, man. I'm sorry.
Lars was like, they thought Sanitarium was worse and more selling out than Fade to Black. Can you believe that? I mean, it's just unbelievable.
That's asinine, dude. That is fucking asinine, yo. Man, that Sanitarium. Leave me be. Just leave me alone. Love that shit, man. Then Disposable Heroes about the military and shit. Back to the Front. That song is amazing, dude. Really fucking heavy. Leper Messiah about the crooked televangelist. It's a fucking banger. Man.
Oh, and that gets like everyone. I've heard people say it's the worst song of the album. I'm like, what?
Wow.
That song is so killer. That was one of the first ones when I heard the album in its entirety. I'm like, it just like stood out how crunchy it was, and the lyrics. That is a dark song, and just screaming lie over and over at the end is my favorite part. That's where the death metal bands get that from. Talking about God and lies, like they got that. That's Leper Messiah started it. You know what I mean? I'm just gonna say it.
Early death metal is my shit. Like I had to get off topic, but like 87, so after Chuck died. I mean, before Chuck died. You know what I mean? That's my favorite. Yeah, this new shit I just don't like.
You know why? Because it's thrashy. That's why. Like I think it's rooted in like heavy thrash, and I think that's why we love it so much.
Oh yeah, dude. Fuck yeah. Man. Oh, Orion, what a fucking instrumental too, man. That's beautiful. Love that shit. Then Damage Incorporated. What a way to end the fucking album with that, man. Jesus Christ. I'm gonna let Mike talk about Master, and then I'll get to my top 3 tracks, man.
So you said what? Volume 4 is your favorite metal album?
Yes, man. But this might be better, man. I got a kind of weird criteria like that. Like, put it this way. Kiss is my second favorite band because of the fucking nostalgia with them, right? But I like a plethora of bands better than Kiss. That's just how I roll. You know what I mean? Yep. You know?
You could stack every Kiss album up and it would never touch this album.
Oh, no.
You could put the whole Kiss discography. Go ahead. I'll let you throw anything in. Ace solo, go for it. It can't touch this. It never could. It never will. No. So Maiden is my favorite band. Okay. I mean, Maiden was my second love. Metallica was my starting off point, and then I got into Maiden, and I was like, and they're completely different. And I just like, for me, with Maiden, they released 8 straight amazing out. And I know some people don't consider No Prayer for Dying amazing. I do. Love it. Just what Steve Harris did, and they were banging an album out every year practically. But this is my favorite record of all time. I will say it. I don't care what genre. This album holds such a special place in my heart. Like, it really opened, probably because it was one of my first really heavy albums, and it just blew my mind. Battery is probably my favorite thrash song of all time, and it's different. It's because the picking is different. Like, it's not your standard just alternate pick, da-da-da-da-da-da riff. It's a triplet with like down picking that da-da-da-da. It is, that riff is so amazing. It's the greatest thrash song. And the best part of that song is after the solo and at the end where they just do that down pick, that da 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 da. What many people don't know is they're actually putting a chug in between every one of those down notes. So when you watch them play it live, their hands are just down picking the whole, dude, unbelievable. Yeah, this album really is the pinnacle of, and this has no influence. Like, it kind of makes me wish that they didn't take the Dave songs and let Dave write his first album like he wanted to, because I would have loved to have heard what that would have been like. But they outdid him. They outdid Dave by forging their own way. I mean, there's not a song I would skip. You talk about Thing That Should Not Be. You want to know why it's so heavy? Because it's one of the first songs it's the first song Metallica ever did in detuning. It's a drop tuning for them. Disposable Heroes, my favorite part of that song is when that lyric about get used to the clock that ticks on like their grenade, and Lars just does that great cymbal choke, that bop bop bop, almost sounds like a grenade, you know what I mean? Choke, like timing, about to pop off. Orion's probably my favorite instrumental of all time. This is easily Cliff's best performance on a song. That whole moody middle section, which was actually supposed to be on the end of Sanitarium. Sanitarium was originally like 10 minutes, 12 minutes, because it had like half of Orion at the end of it, and then they just kind of parted out and made it their own song. If I had to pick a worse song, which by no means means it's a bad song, the Thing That Should Not Be is probably the weakest. And again, I am just saying, like, if I had to rank them, but my top 3, and this album opens and closes, like, it basically bookends with the 2 my favorite thrash songs of all time: Damaging and Battery. Oh, let's see. Picking 3 out of this one is so hard, dude. It is. I'm gonna try. Ready? Title track. It's the most epic thing they've ever done. The most adventurous song, and still being heavy. Battery number 2, and probably Sanitarium number 3. Oh my god, that song is so just the light and shade. James's singing is probably my favorite on this album. Just his voice was perfect out of angst, and he started to really be able to sing. I mean, he became a really great singer on the Black Album, whether you like that album or not. Like, he sounded amazing on that album. Like, he actually sang like a singer. But this is my favorite of how he sounded. Like, easily my favorite James vocals on this album.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, those are my top 3. Oh, my God. But Orion's, like, right there. Oh, dude, it's so tough.
It is tough, brother. I'm thinking now, my favorite on here.
Whew, it's rough.
Man, it is, brother. What the fuck, man? I would have to say Welcome Home Sanitarium is my favorite. Then,
I don't hate you for that either.
Yeah, bro. Then Battery, then Master. Yeah, man, I'll go with that. It could change.
We 3 just arranged differently.
Yeah. Oh man. Then
some great Cliff and all them.
Oh yeah. You know what I want to get, Mike? I want to get that fucking Back to the Front book. That shit.
I don't have that yet, and I do want to get that for sure.
Yeah. Oh my god. There's a lot of cool pictures in there, man. I watched a flip through on YouTube. This motherfucker showed the whole book. I was like, man, I need to get that.
Remember, Jason did come in at the end of this era because of Cliff's accident and death.
Yeah, he did. There's some footage you can see with them, the Master of Puppets stage with him playing. And since you mentioned Cliff's death, man, September 1986.
Then with Jason, because they had a Japanese tour, you can see, I don't know if you can see, this little girl's crying next to Lars. It's pretty funny.
Yeah, I see that. And that's the time, because I've seen like Dragon Ball Z fucking artwork behind them in one photo as well. So yeah, they were in Japan around that time.
There's a lot of it in this box set too. There's a mix of a lot of stuff with Cliff and then with Jason after.
Yeah,
and, they sounded. I remember because in high school there's one of those like head shops, that sell like incense and they sell like the pipes for tobacco use. And there was this one in the mall by where I went to high school. They used to sell all these bootleg CDs, and one of them was Cliff's last show, and I picked it up, and I just could not believe how fast they were playing. Like, they played Master of Puppets within like 7 minutes, 30 seconds. Like, that's how fast they were playing these songs. And after Cliff's passing, they were even more angry on these Jason recordings. They are just so blistering, these songs. It's unbelievable. It really is. I couldn't believe they were playing that fast.
Yeah, that's crazy, man. I was, fucking 1 year old when Cliff died, so I didn't get to live the greatness of Master of Puppets, but just, reading about it like all my life, and how I think it's Stockholm, Sweden, somewhere in Sweden.
Yeah, Stockholm, Sweden.
They had a bus accident.
Last show, they were in like some town, like I don't know how far out, but yeah.
The bus driver claimed he slid on black ice, and fucking Cliff ended up losing his life, unfortunately, man. That is so fucking sad. I feel for the band. I feel for all of them every time they talk about it, man. And it's such a great loss. Like, everyone thinks, imagine what Cliff could have done with them had he, fate had his way. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it would have been interesting to see where they went, for sure.
Yeah. Cliff is a god to me. Him and Steve Harris, he's a butler. My top 3 bassists. That's my opinion. You know what I mean?
Yep. I'd put David Ellefson up there too. He gets overlooked because of Cliff, but David is just as much of an innovator, in my opinion. Different. And that was the thing. Who's got David Ellefson's book is great. I'm listening to it on Audible right now.
Oh shit. I love Audible books.
And he's got part 2 coming out this year sometime. And he goes, when I first joined Megadeth with Dave, everyone was coming up to Dave and they're like, "Oh, this is your new bass player," and they kept coming up to David Ellefson, going, "Are you as good as Cliff? Can you play as good as Cliff?" and Dave really so. Cliff and Dave are like two ends of the spectrum of thrash. Like they're the two pioneers. Cliff was the arpeggio guy with the distortion and the finger playing, and then Junior Ellefson made that great, like, and I feel Didi Verdi is highly underrated from Overkill. He is amazing.
Horoscope.
But David Ellefson perfected that thrash pick style of bass with it's kind of almost tingy sounding, you know what I mean? It's got, like when you listen to Horoscope, it's got that tingy kind of, that thrash. It's almost got that prototypical thrash bass sound. But David Ellefson was the one who started that. And David Ellefson was all over the fretboard too. He was probably more over the fretboard, I think, than Cliff was at times.
Peace Cells, Dawn Patrol, fucking Dawn Patrol. Oof.
That first Megadeth album, listen to the Chosen Ones, where it's got that that little bass part. I mean, he is all over the place on that album.
Fuck yeah, bro.
They're just I mean, Cliff came first. He's gonna get all the credit, and rightfully so. I mean, I'd probably put Cliff slightly above Dave, but dude, between picking Cliff and Junior is like me picking Megadeth and Metallica. Like it's what day you ask me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's how great these two bands were and these two players were.
Fuck yeah, brother. Well
and you know what though? It doesn't go. It kind of goes on the radar. But while Jason Newsted got a great opportunity and made a lot of money and had a great time, they never really accepted him and let him.
No, they didn't.
Be him a person. It's why he left the band. Like he could even play in a band that like he said, that wasn't even a heavy metal band that would never like tarnish the Metallica name. While they did nothing, while they were trying to get their lives together, rightfully so. And I think they all realized that they messed up, especially James. Like he's like, you know what? I probably was too hard on Jason, and I kind of feel for Jason sometimes. I do.
Oh, so do I, bro.
And he was like the heart and soul of the live performance. He was like one of the fans, essentially.
Oh, he was really fucking cool. Like that fucking live shit binge and purge, that Seattle show, man. I can watch that over and over again. His performance on that is immaculate. Oh my god! And the motherfucking Black Album tour, San Diego.
Oh, you can actually hear him on the Black Album, and he kills it.
Oh yes, we'll get it.
I was at the gym today, right? And Holier Than Thou popped up because I just put all this Metallica stuff because I'm just I was even doing homework while getting swole.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Oh man.
And that middle part where it's just Jason and the drums that do when he's just hitting, his tone is great. His playing's amazing. Like, man, Jason.
Oh yeah, I love this.
Reg just joined. He did the Peace Cells and Rust in Peace, right?
Yeah, Reggie. Yeah, he's part of the show too. What up, Reg?
I know. I like.
Yeah, Reg is cool as fuck. That's my bro right there.
Because I posted it on the video. Reg likes all the dark songs on Peace Cells that I do, like Good Morning, Good Friday, Bad Omen. I'm like, yes, those are the best songs. So big shout out to you, Reg.
Yeah, Reggie. Speaker Clout representative right there. And it leads great to the next, Garage Days came out, but we don't need to talk about that. It's a little EP, a little cover EP. I love it. But
they actually sound like a band there. It's great.
Hell yeah, and Jason's playing. You know what I mean? You get a bass.
The drums sound great. It sounds like just a progression of master, but a little cleaner.
Yeah.
Sorry. I'm just moving that back a little bit.
It's okay, brother. Then Justice for All comes out, man. They get Jason in the band.
Look how big this one is. Like the other ones were like this big, and this one's just got so much crap in it. I'll open it up while you're talking.
Yeah, chunky as fuck, man. I gotta get I'm a broke motherfucker, so I gotta get the CDs. All my CDs are the first presses, man. But
it's got the replica Captains of Crunch.
Yeah, I've seen that show before.
This set list would have been dope. It's Blacken, Bells, Sanitarium, Harvester, Horseman, The Thing That Should Not Be, Puppets, Fade to Black, Seek and Destroy, Justice. Now this is where it gets wild. Creeping Death 1, Battery, The Wait, Last Caress, Am I Evil, and Damage Inc. to end it. Woo! Instead of Bread Fan.
Man.
that is a blistering set list.
Oh, yeah, brother. Yeah. And Justice for All, man, 1988. Famously known for No Bass, Jason Newsted, which is a fucking shame, but I still worship this album. I fucking love this album. Lady, oh man, Lady Justice on the cover, fucking amazing artwork.
I think we skipped over it, but we both are giving Puppets, what, 10 out of 5?
Oh, yeah, 10. 10
out of 5. 10 out of 5. And my favorite Metallica album, right? I would assume.
Yeah, my favorite too, brother. My favorite, second favorite metal album of all time. There's no, well, could be number one. Who fucking knows? I worship that album.
Even care. I don't even care. It's my favorite album of all time.
I'm with you, man. That's like
the one single, Picture Disc.
Plus head shit. Yeah, that's dope, man. I love that. Oh yeah.
I'll just hold up some artwork and stuff. Oh, it's got like copies of like what the loose leaf James's lyrics were.
Oh, that's fucking dope.
It's obviously zero copy, but they look cool though.
Yeah. Man, Out the Gate with Blackened. That song is incredible. Awesome plus head artwork right there too, man.
Hell yeah.
Real long but fucking great. Some of my favorite Metallica songs ever. And talk about long, got Injustice for All, man. A lot of political stuff going on.
Which one is super long and one of your favorites?
Injustice for All, and Black. Yeah, it's fucking great. This whole fucking album is great. I love everything on here. Eye of the Beholder. One.
Eye of the Beholder, really underrated, my opinion.
The drumming on here too. Lars's drumming is fucking incredible.
It's his best drum performance, easily.
Yes, the whole album, like fucking gunshots. Love this shit, man. One, everyone knows fucking One. That video is great.
Iconic.
Yes,
Did you
iconic.
have 2 of 1 VHS?
No, I didn't know that shit existed. What is that, Mike?
It's so I must have caught the tail end of because when I was in end of high school, I graduated in 2000. What the hell? When do you graduate? In the summer, right? It's been so long since it was.
Yeah, like June or some shit. That's when I did.
Yeah, so I graduated in 2001, and so between 1998, because Metallica was still big, with Garage Inc. and stuff like that, the S&M. The record stores I was going to, they still carried the old VHSs. I got all this stuff right at the end before they started getting rid of all this crap. So 2 of 1 is it's basically the one video twice. It's the extended version, and there's a 5-minute version that MTV has, and then there's a 15-minute or 10-minute interview with Lars in the beginning in a hotel room talking about the concept. It's really cool. And that's where I'm at, again, Lars driving the ship. He's like, when we're gonna make a video, but we're gonna do it our way. And they did. They made. I mean, I still watch this video to this day. It's bleak as hell, dude. It is so. The way the movie is interwoven with the band performance.
I love that.
Time I watched it, I just went, "Oh shit, that was rad," but really, really depressing. And I've heard One a million times before I really saw the video, the extended version, because at the end of that whole jamming part, at the end of the song, that and then it ends, and then it has that scene from the movie, and the guys.
The guys,
and then they have just the blackout over him. Oh my god, so depressing but amazing. And when I saw them in October, they played clips of that on their video screens while they were playing. Oh my god, dude! Oh man, amazing, dude! If they come near you, go see them.
Yeah, I only seen them fucking one time, man. Death Magnetic. That was amazing.
I heard that was a good tour too.
Yeah. Fuck yeah, dude. What's the Palladium?
I used to go. I seen Arch Enemy there. I've seen King Diamond there. So yeah, it's not that far from me. I mean, not that bad.
Yeah, you're from upstate New York, right?
Yeah, so I'm near Albany, so it's about 2.5, 3 hours.
Not to get off topic, but the greatest rap right now is coming from upstate New York. Grimy, evil shit from upstate right now, man.
Yeah, I heard about that.
Yeah, Griselda Records, man. Illest niggas out. Okay,
Mike,
Harvester of Sorrow. I say it like it's going out of style. Harvester of Sorrow, man. That shit, man. That shit is amazing, man. The fucking that riffing on there, that drink up, shoot in, let the beatings begin. Distributor of pain, your loss becomes my gain. Love that. Awesome lyrics.
I'm pretty
Some
sure that
fucking
song is about a guy who's like has substance abuse that
yeah,
eventually just kills his family.
heroin. Yeah, some evil shit right there, man. Uh, real dark shit. Dyer's Eve about uh having problems with your parents and stuff like that. Dear mother, dear father. What a fast fucking song. I love it. To Live Is to Die, Great Peace. Um, I think it's dedicated to Cliff and shit like that.
I think Cliff came up
He
with
like wrote something, right? Didn't he write something?
like a poem, and I think
yeah.
maybe a part of the music might have been something left over that he had.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. It's the part where you seen the Seattle show and Jason has his bass solo,
man.
and then at the end it's a do 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 do.
Yes, and they all come playing with him and they sit down. Oh, I fucking love that.
With the harmony over his chord progression. I'm pretty sure Cliff wrote that. And then it goes into Master of Puppets, and it's the best live performance of Master of Puppets, bar none.
I agree. And James fucking stage banter back then. Oh my god,
it was wild.
Fucking great. Yes. Oh, I love the shit he used to say, man. Fucking awesome.
They were really driven, really, really hungry.
Hell yeah. You don't get that no more. I know he's not in his 20s anymore, but I miss that Hetfield stage banter from like Justice to the Black Album. Love that shit, man.
Yeah. Here's some photos of them on that Monsters of Rock tour. I don't know if you can see like
unfortunately Sammy Hagar was on it. But
Jason Newsted made a great comment. Goes, look, I'm friends with the guys in Dawkins. They're nice guys. They're great players, but when we're playing in front of them and we only have 45 minutes, so we can go Mach 10 for 45 minutes, they had no chance. He goes, they had no chance. And I like Doc, and they could write good songs. They're different.
Yeah, I never gave him a chance, Mike. I got to give him a chance.
I mean, that's fine, and some people don't. I mean, I think Don's an underrated singer. He's kind of like, back when he really could sing, he was kind of like Claus Mine-ish, and that's why, I don't know if some people don't know, when Claus thought he lost his singing ability in the early 80s, they were going to hire Don as their singer for Black. There's some
motherfucking demos. Scorpions. Love the Scorpions, man.
Like, there's some rare demos out there for the the Blackout album that have Don Dokken singing on it.
Oh shit!
Yeah, it's weird because he was living over there at the time. So
yeah,
but yeah, I mean, oh man, they were untouchable in this era. Whew, really.
Oh yeah, the way they fucking played and the Damage Justice tour. That fucking performance, like I said, the live shit Binge and Purge, man. I can't get it. The Seattle show, man. I can watch that over and over again, man.
Yeah, and on the box set, it put it on vinyl.
Yeah, they did. Yep, I seen that. I think Ralph was showing it off. I seen it for the first time.
Yeah, I have it here too. Yeah, it's huge. It's like all these gatefolds.
Oh yeah, that's amazing.
I played that video out.
Oh yeah.
And, I wanted it like in an audio form, so for years I had it. I found someone who I had downloaded someone who must have ripped the audio from the video, and then when they came out with this and. Even though it's on vinyl, they have digital downloads for everything in the box, which is amazing. Like, they really make it fan friendly. So you put everything on your phone. Oh my God. And Battery, that version of Battery is the most insane version of Battery.
Fuck yeah, man.
It's so angry and heavy. And James sounds great. His vocals on the live Seattle is great because they're high. They're a little bit higher, more singy, but they're still aggressive. Like Harvester of Sorrow is aggressive, but when he's doing that chorus, he's got and Sanitarium. Oh my! This probably has my favorite live versions of like those songs. Sanitarium, Master of Puppets, like all those songs are so great on here.
Speaking of Judge, oh man. Back in like 99, 2000, Todd McFarlane did this fucking Metallica action figure set.
I have
Man,
it.
oh man, I wish I had
And I
that.
have the deluxe one, and I had two. One like I had displayed when I was in college, and it got lost. But one I never opened, and I still have it.
I seen it at Hot Topic. I could have fucking got it. Had the money and everything. I was like, I'll get it next time. Nope, no fucking next time, man. That shit is amazing.
I got the Jaws one. Remember that one?
Yeah.
And then I also have the Queen Alien one with the woman that's in the cocoon. Did you see that one too?
No, I didn't see that.
So you know that scene from Aliens where she's trying to find the Queen Alien and they're going through that cocoon of people, the nest. So it's got the big broad-headed Queen Alien. Oh, dude, so dope. I have all that stuff in boxes. Like I good thing I bought spares back in the day because through moving when you're young and I had things on display that I no longer, but I always bought two of stuff, and I'm glad I did at that time because it was affordable. Now you try to eat that stuff, it's so expensive.
It is expensive, brother. Like I was collecting Master Universe figures like 2 months ago. I saw
that. Awesome, dude. That's so funny. I
got about 10 of them. They're all in immaculate condition too, which is great. But yeah, man. Top 3 for me off Justice is Blackened, fucking Harvest of Sorrow, and probably Dyer's Eve, man. And it's immaculate. Minus the bass missing, it's a classic in my opinion. It's a masterpiece.
This album is probably my third favorite Metallica album. I'd probably put a little bit ahead of Kill 'Em All.
Yep. I'm with you, brother.
But it probably has the weakest song of the first 4 albums for me. Like it's the first one where and it's not a bad song, but it's okay. The Freudian Insanity, I think, goes a little too long. It's got a lot of great riffs in it.
Oh, yeah, I agree. The riffing is so fucking good.
It's funny because you're like, yeah, that's a killer riff. That's a killer riff. But it just as a song, it's not cohesive to me.
Yeah, I agree.
But yeah, Blackened, which that's a Jason Newsted wrote the riffs to that. That that's Jason Newsted came up with that main riff. And in the some of the CDs when they're like you can hear the demos and then the writing in process, you can hear James trying to figure it out with Jason what that riff is. Because it's in like an odd time a little bit, but oh my god, that song that's my favorite song off the album. Second favorite, probably Harvester.
Oh god.
And then the title track would be third. Shortest Straw, such an underrated song on this album. Whew, that is a great song.
Oh yeah, Shortest Straw. The drums on that, man.
So heavy in the beginning, like dun 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 dun. Yeah, it's really great. But those are my 3 favorite. And yeah, classic album. Really would have wished I could have heard it with like the bass. I just wondered, I did download a copy of the album where I think some guy played bass to it, and it sounds cool. That And Justice for Jason. You ever hear
I thought it was really Jason, but I'm like, yeah, right, it can't be.
No, because the only people have access to that stuff. I mean, I'm sure whoever did it played the tabs of what you can barely hear Jason. I just really wish you could have heard what he played because I know a lot of those guys said, they're like, oh, Jason killed it on this album. And we couldn't believe that they were taking him out of the mix almost completely.
Fucking Lars. Jesus.
It was James too. They kept going like, oh, now the drums are too loud. Turn up my guitar. So and James said, when you listen to this album, you can tell who the 2 people were in the control room. Because all you hear is guitars and bass on that, or guitars and drums on that album.
Yep. It's a fucking shame, though, man. It really is. Man, then Metallica, they tore on Justice. Hook up with a Canadian by the name of Bob Rock. This motherfucker did what? Slippery and Wet, I think. Some shit like that. Some
Dr. Feel Good.
Yeah, that fag shit. And I don't like that shit at all, man. But,
see me, I'm always waging a war against Motley Crue in the rock and metal combat. Always.
Son, I'm with you, bro. If I ever catch motherfuckers going at you, I got your back. Man.
How do you care? They're like, oh, the first 2 albums. It's garbage compared to the rest of it. And yeah, you can come back. I listen to Dokken, but I thought they were more original than Motley Crue was. Sorry, George Lynch. destroys McMars. My
Like
opinion.
I like Shout, but I'm not gonna defend it like these motherfuckers. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's the only thing I truly like.
You know what though? They were always phony. That's the difference. I feel that they
Yeah.
were. Nikki Sixx is always and his lyrics. He like obviously tried to model himself after Steve Harris, the bass player songwriter, but his lyrics are garbage.
And
Like,
I'm sorry, Mike. Like fucking when Nikki Sixx said to that guy in '97, "You fucking nigger," I didn't like that, bro. I
who's
didn't
he
like
that
that.
to?
Some fucking bodyguard. It's on YouTube. It's on YouTube. He's like screaming outside. He called him a nigger like 10 fucking times.
That's a
I'm
little
like,
rough.
yeah. I'm like, wow. Like fuck this guy. Fuck this band. Seriously. And then Vince Neil like supporting George Zimmerman. Like fuck that. You know. I know it's politically
I don't know.
to separate the music, but Trayvon Martin got gunned down violently by a fucking racist. You know what I mean? So yeah, fuck Vince
It's
Neil.
hard. You know what though? If I could just like play a little bit of devil's advocate, it's hard to get what actually happened in the media because you're getting two sets of quote unquote facts. And it's hard to piece together sometimes what is perception and what is reality. You know what I mean?
Yeah, with me, I just go by what Zimmerman was saying on those tapes.
Like
Calling him follow the kid. You know, he followed him.
Yeah, I know, like it's like political, but like there's unedited tapes that put more context. It's hard, dude. It's hard to know what really happened. Like to know what really happened in that case, I think there's a little bit more gray area than some people thought either 100% guilty or 100% innocent. Because you can, now with freedom of information, you can go and listen to unedited 911 tapes. So I'm a nerd, so I'll do that. And there's a lot of gray area, like whether, what really happened. But then after, though, he got acquitted, he proved that he was a maniac. I mean.
And a racist. I heard him call the kid a fucking coon. You can hear it plain as day on the tape. But I don't want to get off topic, but I'm just saying.
Yeah, that's really what this is about. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, man. Black Album comes out 1991, August 91. Like I said, they get with Bob Rock, and this is like a drastic change for them. And I get it, okay? For the Thrashers that was fucking with them 83 to 88, I get it why they don't like this album, okay? I'm fucking 33 years old, so I got this album in 1995, the first one I got along with Ride the Lightning, and went back and got the other ones, and I fucking love this album. There's certain complaints I have with it, but I think it's a great album. It's not as great as the first four, but I do love this album. Even though it's overkill, some of the songs, even though I listen to classic rock radio, it's just, man, I understand the hate it gets.
This album has so much reach, you couldn't escape it. I think it sold like 25 million copies in the US alone, or some crazy number like that.
The most highest selling album too, by the way.
And it was on the Billboard 200 for like 15 straight years, every week for 15 straight years.
That's crazy. And Sandman is a great opener. I love the riff. I love the song. It's fucking overkill, but I can live without hearing it, put it that way. I do love it, but I can live without hearing it. A song that's fucking famous as well and well known is Sad But True, but I fucking love Sad But True. Do my work, do my dirty work, scapegoat. That's some evil shit right there.
For like a year or two was Kid Rock for me.
Oh, fuck him. Jesus Christ.
That phony baloney. Yeah. I never got that shit.
The epitome of cringe.
Yeah. And it's an embarrassment on white people everywhere. I'll say it.
I used to rock out with Devil Without a Cause, but now revisiting that, I'm like, oh my God, this is cringe.
I felt like telling people I was Greek, but I'm too pale to pass through that. I mean, look at me. I couldn't get away with it.
Yeah, I agree. He did ruin Sad But True, but I still love Sad But True.
Only for like a year or two for me, and then I'm like, oh yeah, this song rocks. Come on.
Oh yeah, Holier Than Now is fucking amazing.
Underrated.
Yes, that shit is amazing.
And a lot of people, the Thrashers, like Ralph and Ian, hate Bob Rock for making this album sound so clean. But say what you will about Bob Rock, he wanted that. He said this should be your first single. This song, which is probably the fastest, heaviest song on the album.
Yeah, he said that when they were having dinner. I remember that on
the DVD or the VHS.
Well, let me just touch on that, which is right quick. That's amazing. The first part is 2 hours. It's them recording the album. Then the second part is them touring on the album. I can watch that all the time. It's fucking great. Plenty of fucking quotables on there. You know, not Lars driving. Come on, dickhead. Come on, dickhead. Like,
you want to know what you want to use all the time? Is remember when Lars like got pissed off during a drum take and spikes his drumstick through it? And they're like, "Oh, we'll take 15 minutes. We'll put the new head on." And then someone goes and Bob's your uncle. I say Bob's your uncle all the time, and no one knows what the hell I'm talking. But
Bob's your uncle.
Because that's probably my favorite music documentary. They do, like when they do something, they do it
hands
right.
Down. Yes. Yo, Mike, I'm with you, bro. That is amazing. Fucking a part that gets me kind of emotional is when the kid that got cancer. And he plays for Hawthorne with them and shit.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Yeah, that was awesome. Like Metallica's cool as fuck to do that.
But when I was like a freshman in high school, and I would watch this over and over. I'm like, oh, I want to just be like Lars. I want to just go play drums. I just want this to be my life. Like I sit around, I eat, I hang out in the studio. You know, it glorified. Like I mean, it did show like how hard it is to make an album, but it looks so cool. Didn't you just want to be one of that?
Yeah, it had a bad bitches working in the studio and shit. Remember that scene?
Yeah. I think that was when they were in Vancouver, like recording, like
and
you know what's cool about that? Like I would have never known. So you know, God That Failed, that da-na-na, when they're recording, but like it's very subtle in the mix. But you remember when James is like cocking a gun at that part? He's like, click, 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 click. That's actually in the final mix, by the way. Him cocking that like I don't know, is that like my wife is pretty good at hunting. I'm totally not a man. Like she could like that's why I stay in line. She knows how to shoot shotguns, so I'm just a good husband. But she would tell you what that kind of gun was, you know what I mean? That he's just like click, click, click. Click, click, click.
Yeah, it's fucking awesome. Yo, son, I could watch that all the fucking time. I love that shit.
And then the touring part is just as great.
Hell yeah. And Lars rocking that Axl Rose white jacket.
I have my original live shit. I got this in my grandmother was like, "What do you want for Christmas?" This is like 10th grade. I'm like, remember when like record stores used to have all their box sets, and this was like the most expensive one. It was like $100.
But yeah,
she bought it for me, and I spent hours with this thing. It's got the San Diego show on two. I mean, this is back in the day when you really had to work for yourself on the 2 VHS.
Oh,
you know what I mean? Oh my god, I spent night after night watching this.
I got this one, Mike. This look blurry as fuck, but
believe me, I got it too when it came out in like what 2000.
Oh yeah, some shit. When it come out, I'm trying to look at the date. 2000. It's too small. I can't see the print. But yeah, man.
Got the stencil.
Yeah. So you got the book.
It's in that one, the digital book, right?
Yeah, digital book. Yeah, on a fucking DVD, unfortunately. Yeah, man, I fucking worship that. It came out in '93 originally too.
Looks like that road case. I mean, look how
got the fucking scary guy on it.
Yeah, look how detailed that is. So I've always held on to this. Haven't watched these VHS in like 15 years, but it's still. I mean, I kept it in pretty good condition.
Man,
my wife calls me a collector.
Oh yeah, I'm the same way, bro. Trust me.
It's like my thing.
Yeah. For those that don't know, watch that shit, man. And watch the A Day in a Life a year and a half of. That shit is amazing.
It's got all these great photos.
Oh, see, that's why I'm mad about that. The fucking CD should have came with that.
It has it digitally, but
oh, that's so fucking cool, Mike.
But there's nothing like having it in your hands. Dude, I used to sit, take a dump, read like 4 pages of like all these tour notes. There's some crazy stuff about they had like the infamous Miami show where like there was a whole bunch of damage under the floor and people rushed the floor. I don't know if you ever heard about that, but there's like There's like a little note that they put in here that they got from like the facility that they, of all their grossings, they had to hold back $30,000 to replace chairs and like banisters, crazy stuff. I'll try to find it while you're talking about the album, but I'll have to. Oh, it's even got like I don't know if you can see this, but right here by my hand, Pusshead did some. This was his early artwork for like the joint Guns N' Roses Metallica tour shirts.
Oh, that's fucking dope, man. I gotta get that shit, yo. I gotta get that somehow on fucking eBay or something.
It's got the set list for the infamous LA Forum show on this tour. It was like the third night, so they busted out. This was like the only time in like 10 years they played Master Puppets full. It's got Leper Messiah because it was like just the third night, so they threw out anything they could think of different. Damage Incorporated. Sometimes half these songs they never played on this tour, you know, like the full Master Puppets Leper Messiah. Oh my god, yeah, it's got this book is amazing.
Oh yeah, I never seen that before. Like I didn't even take the time to look at the digital one because I was pissed it didn't come with that. But
yeah, I'll flip through some pictures. There's a lot of great ones here. Yeah. I mean, this is when Metallica was on top of the world.
Oh yeah, they were in their motherfucking prime and around like 91, 92, 93. They were really on top of their game, man. My favorite song on here, man, it's probably My Friend in Misery. Newstead Shines.
Interesting choice.
Love that shit. The guy that failed about, James Hetfield's mother was like in a Scientology. She ended up passing away from cancer.
Christian Scientist, which is
scientist shit.
Which is like you believe in God, but you believe in it so much where you don't take any medical help because you feel like God is the only one that can help you. And I think that's kind of what Dyer's Eve is also a little bit about as well.
Yeah. Yeah, man. Songs I don't like on here that I can just not deal with is like Nothing Else Matters. It's a good song. I'm just fucking sick of it.
I think that's a great ballad, but I know it's such an unpopular opinion, but James sounds great. And it's like a ballad the way I would expect Metallica to do a ballad. It's not here's the thing. No matter what you feel about Metallica and they change, I always felt they were honest. Like they've always been honest and done what they've wanted to do. And that's why whether if I like it or not, I've always said, it's their thing. Like, to me, they've always done what they wanted because they could have easily just done Master Puppets over and over and over and over again if they really wanted to.
Like you said, Michael, regardless of what you say about them, my love when Lars was like, no one's going to fucking tell me how my band is going to sound. Fuck you. I can ride with them on that one. You know what I mean? I
feel them. Like, I don't always agree with them, but as long as you're an honest artist, which I feel they are for the most part, I've always respected them. He's a lot of respect.
Don't Tread on Me is probably one I don't really care for. I don't like that, man.
Struggle Within is my least favorite. My brother and I always make fun of that. Struggle Within, like the chorus.
Easier, yeah. Other than that, top three off the jump, I'll give you fucking My Friend in Misery, Sabbath True, and Holier Than Thou. There you go. It's my top three of the Black Album. But the Black Album is a soft place in my heart. 4.5 for me. I'll let Mike talk about his favorite joints.
So this was the first Metallica I got, and I loved it. And I still think it's an amazing. And I know some people like, oh, it's too clean. To me, the drums sound like Ian says. It sounds really like you're taking Metallica and going to the mall. But I look at it differently. I feel like the album is bottom end very heavy because the bass is very present, and Lars's drums are really sound amazing. A lot of bite, a lot of beef end to him, and his snare sound is the best on this album because he was using it's hard to find, but he had a signature Bell brass snare Tama made up. Oh my god, the crack on that thing is unbelievable. Really, this album they were looking to be a little bit, I guess, more mainstream, but they even said they kind of like took what they could do with Justice as far as they could go. They were kind, night after night playing these long prog songs. They wanted to play songs with more groove and just more heavier in a different way. And yeah, I mean, if you really go back and listen to these albums, like this album, it's not a soft album. I know some people talk a lot of shit about it, but look, I don't ever have to hear Enter Sandman just because it's killed. Like everyone killed it for me.
Oh yeah, me too, bro. I'm right there with you. Like,
but but every one of the singles I think is great. And I always thought, and I know the song got hate. I love Wherever I May Roam. I love that riff with the hammer. I love that. Oh my God, I love that song. And people are like, oh, that song is boring. It sucks. I'm like, it's got an evil sound because of that hammer-on and the sitar sound. I love that song.
Same.
Oh, The God That Failed, the underrated classic, and of Wolf of Man. That song is heavy as fuck.
Oh, I love Wolf of Man. Yes, I love that.
It's so heavy. This actually has some, between Master Puppets, Justice, and this album are James's like best lyrics. Those three albums. They're different.
Great.
They slowly get more introspective on this album. I thought The Unforgiven's a great song. It's a great song. It's not, I don't know. I guess I get like what you're saying with the people who rode with them all the way, but Metallica's always done things their way. Like they just didn't see it because it's what they were still doing something that they liked. You know what I mean? I mean,
go ahead, Mike. My bad.
No. You're good. You're good.
Fucking Ian, man. I love you, brother. Wadzilla's my dog. Like I always bust his balls about hair metal, but how do you fucking like Warrant and Winger, but don't like the Black Album? Fuck out of here, man.
The Black Album destroys anything Winger has ever done.
Yes.
Ever.
Yes.
The God That Failed kills every song in Warrant and Winger's discography.
That's some pussy shit I can't listen to. That shit is
Warrant. I don't even think Ian likes Warrant, does he? I don't think he does.
Oh, I think yes, he does. I think he does. Yeah, he does.
I love Ian. But Ian's like me. He doesn't care.
Oh, Ian's my brother. Hell yeah, I'm just busting his chops. I do all the other songs about fucking.
Oh yeah, he does. He's good about it. But I mean, I don't. The weakest songs on this album probably Struggle Within.
Yeah, I'm with you, bro.
I prefer Don't Tread on Me over it because I like the riff a little bit more. But those are the two weakest songs. But honestly, when I go through it, it's a really strong album, and I can see why I sold so many copies. And it's still heavy. I think it's still like a not thrash, but it's very chunky riffs. The riffage is pretty chunky on this album. Wouldn't you agree?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is, man. It really is. Like
Sabbath True might be one of the heaviest songs, like straightforward heavy songs they wrote. Again, this is a song. This is a song in drop D or in D tuning, just like Thing That Should Not Be is.
Yeah.
But and then live, this is probably Metallica. I mean, you could argue Justice Tour, this one, they were a well-oiled machine on this tour. Like they were unbelievable. There's a channel on YouTube, Met DC4 or whatever, and he puts up tons of boots. And I have a program where I can just take YouTube videos and rip them into audio. I have like 50 shows from this tour between like 91, 93, and they all are incredible shows. They all are incredible shows. And these guys were like, you know what? This album's still selling. They toured for like 3.5 years.
Yeah, he did, man.
They did one solid year of touring in just the US, which I haven't heard anyone do ever. Just in the US, 1 year straight. Top 3 on this album: God That Failed 1, Wherever May Roam 2, Wolf and Man 3. Those are my top 3, man.
Great choices, man. Underrated too. All them shits.
Yeah, but this
4.5 for me.
I'd give it a solid 4.5. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I don't understand the hate for a lot of it. Like really underrated, Through the Never. Great song.
Oh,
Great
hell
song.
yeah.
Love that riff.
Duda, never. Love that shit, man. And Black,
Yeah, it's a great song.
even the look of them, like that's my favorite look of Metallica is, you know, 86 Master of Puppets. They look so fucking cool. But Black Album and Justice, I like that look as well. Like they just look fucking awesome.
And
you know, James fucking black wristbands, the fucking tank top. Yeah, fucking love that era, man.
And they had that really interesting stage. This is before they started playing in the round. Like, you know how like normally you go see an arena show and the stage is at one end. The
fucking snake.
I mean, the stage was still at one end, but it went all the way around, so people could sit behind them, and they would go.
Yeah, they call it the snake pit. That's what they call the shit.
Well,
yeah,
they had that on the stage, but they also had, you know, normally like you can't sit behind the backdrop, obviously.
Yeah.
But since they never had a backdrop and they had some mics behind it, basically the stage was like in the shape of like a diamond almost. So people would sit behind the stage and they would kind of roam back there. It was kind of like their pre in the round. I just thought that was so interesting. The drums moved around, you know, the drum riser moved everywhere. Man, and again, when you watch that documentary, Lars is like, we just wanted, you could tell that's all Lars. I wanted to play in different formations. And really cool, really interesting concept. And, you know, I don't know. Lars isn't enough credit for what Metallica would definitely not be the biggest band in the world if it was not for Lars Ulrich. So you want about his drumming, which I think is fine. He's just a pocket player. That's where he wants to be.
Yeah, Lars and James are like the fucking McCartney and Lennon of metal, man. You know what I mean?
Easily.
Yeah, definitely. So they taught, like Mike said, they taught forever on the fucking Black Album. And don't come up with a record until 1996 with Load. This is the first album that I got when I was as a fan of Metallica. I'm fucking 11 years old.
8th grade.
Yeah. I was in elementary still, I think, like 5th grade, maybe. I was 11. I know I was 11.
Oh, you know what? Hold on. I think I was in like 6th or 7th grade. Now that I think about it. Yeah.
Because I stood back in the 3rd grade because of my math. So I was a lot older than anybody else. So I didn't leave high school until I was 19. So I was 11 when I got this. I was in like 5th grade, I think. But I got the album after school with my uncle. And he loves Metallica too. And, oh, man, this is before the internet. I didn't hear a leak or nothing like that. Got the cassette. And at this time, I'm listening to like Tool and Rage Against the Machine and fucking.
Oh, I love Tool. Opiate.
Oh, yeah.
That first EP is very metal to me.
Opiate, right?
Yeah, and then Undertow. Whew.
My favorite is Anima, if I'm saying it right.
Yeah, Anima. I think it's Anima or Anima. I'm not sure how they're pronounced. I think it's more like Anima, You know what I mean?
Yeah, hooker with a penis and shit.
Oh, and then that's how I found out who Bill Hicks was because of Tool. You know what I mean?
Comedian Bill Hicks. Yep.
Arizona Bay.
And if you move the CD, it's some girl doing fellatio on herself. Fucking crazy shit, man.
It's a guy.
Oh, it's a guy? Oh, yeah. It's sucking his dick. Okay.
Oh,
yeah. Crazy shit, man. But man, this album, there's songs I like on here, man. Like, you know, if you put Load and Reload together, you can make a great album. But I don't like this album. I'm gonna be honest. I don't like it. Do
you want to talk about Load and Reload kind of together?
Yeah, let's do it together. Yeah, so I don't want to. It's getting late. I don't take too much of your fucking time.
No, it's all right. It just kind of makes more sense, I think, conceptually, since they were written all at the same time, essentially.
Yeah, recorded by itself. Yeah. Ate My Bitch. As soon as I heard it, this sounds like some country shit. I didn't like that at all, man.
It's kind of like dumb guy metal, but again, the album sonically sounds great. The drums sound great. The guitars are heavy, like thick sounding.
Metallica, brother. Yeah, bro. Yeah, they know guys like that. Yeah. I just don't like that fucking song.
I have like a love-hate with it. Like sometimes, like I like how it sounds sonically, but like the lyrics are terrible.
Oh yes.
I think if the lyrics were different, I think you might like it in a way.
The songs I love on it. I love the house Jack built.
Yeah, that's an amazing song.
That riff, oh my god, Kirk did his fucking thing. Love that shit, man. Until It Sleeps, I fucking love. The video's fucking weird, but I love
I
it,
like
man.
it. I like it.
Yeah. That so tear me open for me. Yeah, that
Yeah,
shit
when I
is
first heard
amazing.
that single, I'm like, okay, yeah, this is gonna be all right. This is gonna be good.
Yeah. Love that song. Hero of the Day. That's alright. I don't hate it. My
I don't hate
second
it like
favorite.
Ian. Ian hates that song
Yeah, no, yeah.
because
See,
it kind of gets weirdly heavy too at
shout out
times.
to Bill Wang. Bill Wang loves this shit. I know Bill Wang loves this album.
Oh yeah, he does. Bill
Yeah.
Way's an apologist sometimes.
Yeah. Bleeding Me is amazing. I fucking love that song, man.
So far, you and I are like step for step with what you love on this album. I love them too.
Yeah.
Like King
Mama said,
Nothing's okay. It's kind of like a rehash of Sandman a little bit.
yeah.
It's got a
We're
good
just
driving beat, but
nothing.
James sounds good vocally though on this album. I'll
Yeah,
give him that.
he does. I don't remember Cure that much. I can barely remember that song.
Sucks. My opinion.
Mama Said It's Trash. Uh,
I'ma let your
see that video?
son go. You like that?
No, I hate it. This motherfucker got
No,
a
what I
cowboy hat.
did though.
Oh yeah, great. Better than James. He's got a fucking drink with a olive in it and shit. I'm like, come on, dude.
Oh, Dirty Martini?
Yeah, that video.
Those are good though.
Yo, the Outlaw Tone is amazing. I fucking love that song.
That's my favorite. That's my favorite song on the album.
Yeah, top three. I'll just do it right now. Get it out the way. House that Jack Built, not Hero of the Day. My bad. Until It Sleeps and Outlaw Tone. That's my top three, man.
Dude, I have the same top three. I will say just a quick point about it because you pretty much touched on everything. I know Ian hates the song, but I love Wasting My Hate. I love that song because it's angry. I don't know.
Wasting My on You or some shit. I gotta listen to that. But
I don't know. I thought it was kind of like a Misfitsy type of song. You know what I mean? Like almost like Die Die, my darling.
Love that shit.
And here, look, it's okay. Load is obviously at this point my least favorite Metallica album, but I respect them because
Look at this booklet. Look at that shit. What the fuck is that?
Yo, look at he looks cute there though. Look at him.
What the fuck is that?
Rugged. Yo, Kirk and Lars look the funniest. Let's be real.
Yeah, eyeliner and shit. I'm like, what the fuck?
You know what though? Because that is even in '96, that wasn't hip, and they still did what they wanted to do. That's why I respect Metallica. Now James is like, okay, I didn't like the look that James and Kirk or Lars and Kirk were into, but we're a band. I think if you were to slap a different name on this album, you're like, oh, this is a really good hard rock album, like with some different stuff on it. But Bleeding Me, Outlaw Torn are so great. Pretty much I'm with you on this. I like 2x4 a lot too. The second half of this album is really weak.
Oh,
it's like if I really look at it, it's like Wasting My Hate and Outlaw Torn are the two best. Now I'm with you. And Reload is even weaker. To me, like if you take the choice cuts of Reload and Load, I think you have it's gonna sound crazy, but I think you have a solid, cohesive album.
I'm with you.
And I think you're like, look, it's different. And if Metallica's like, look, we're just gonna write a different album. If they were more like, but they never explain themselves, and they don't have to. But if they were like, hey, this album's gonna be different, okay? I think people would be more receptive to it. Like, I think if you were to take the songs we're talking about, right, that we both like on Load, and you add in, I'll put Fuel on there. That's a decent song.
Yeah, that's okay. I don't hate it.
When they played it live, when I saw them, I was like, this is actually not too bad. Like, when you're in the moment, it's a good live song, actually. If you put Fuel, Memory Remains, which is a great song, I think.
Oh, God. Love Memory Remains.
Devil's Dance.
Love that shit.
Oh, yeah, and you put Devil's Dance on there. What else do I like on? See, Reload's a little. That's probably honestly.
Yeah.
This may sound crazy, but I think Reload might be their weakest album because I feel, even though I like it more than Saint Anger, spoiler alert, it's just rehashed. Like I feel the stuff that was they didn't think was good enough for Load at first.
Yeah.
What's on Reload again?
On Reload, Mike. I like the Memory Remains. I like the Devil's Dance. Devil's Dance is fucking dope. I like the Unforgiven too, to be honest.
Yeah, that's not bad. And you know what's pretty good? Where the Wild Things Are. I know it sounds crazy, but that song is moody. Yeah. I kind of like that song.
Low Man's Lyric is my shit.
Really? So you don't like Mama Said, but you like that one?
Yeah.
See, I think I would, if I had to choose between the two, I would take Mama Said for some reason. I don't know why. It doesn't make sense.
To be on the same side, I also like Fixer a little bit too. And that Carpe Diem Baby is okay. Not a good album, man. I just pick what I like on here. But my ultimate favorites though is The Memory Remains, Devil's Dance, Unforgiven 2. Bad Seed is trash. Choking on the Bad Seed, country shit again.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of that one. I actually like Carpe Diem Baby more than I like Bad Seed and all that stuff.
Yeah, I like the lyrics. So squeeze and suck the dead. It's Carpe Diem Baby.
Ian hates that song. Actually, you know what? I would put that on if I were to make a Load album, Carpe Diem Baby would make it.
Yeah. 97 this came out, man. I got this for fucking Christmas. Same CD I had way back then, and it's not that good, man. It's like the album cover is like piss and fucking blood, and then the other album cover, Load, is like common. What? I forgot what else. Blood. I don't know what the fuck that is.
One of my friends, when we were in middle school, was like, the Reload cover looks like a vagina if you look like it. You know, the red part would be like the vagina, and the other part's the legs. I mean, who knows? This is pre-internet, so we're all hearing rumors. You know what I mean?
This is Law's like artwork, you know. Laws is a fucking painting guy, and he bought some artist. Yeah, some artist did that, and he used the other cover. But yeah, that's our thoughts on Load and Reload, man. Then
Choice Cuts would have made I think a pretty tight album. If we could cut this album to 12 songs, I think between the both, I think you could have a really good album. I'd actually make Fuel the opening track of it all.
Oh, that's good.
I put Fuel, Memory Remains, House of Jack Built, Until It Sleeps, maybe 2x4, Devil's Dance, Bleeding Meat. I think we could make a solid album, I feel.
Yeah, hell yeah. We were on the same page with our favorite songs off Load too, so that can make it.
We're the same, I think, on both almost.
Yeah. So that's Load and Reload, man. They take a fucking break. They come up with. I'll just touch on it a little because this album's kind of important to me. Garage Inc.
Day one buyer, believe me.
Yeah, this is the same copy I had since 1998. It's when I first started buying CDs. I retired from buying cassettes, and this is why it's so important to me. This got me into two of my favorite bands, especially
Merciful Fate, right?
Yeah, and Misfits.
Same here. I mean, even though we knew the Misfits before because they, all the Metallica live stuff had Last Caress on it.
Yeah.
But
and
Die, My Darling.
They wore a lot of Misfits shirts though, 86, 84 and shit. So
Cliff had the tattoo as well.
Yep. Yeah, it is. Well, I never knew what was until this album.
You know what's great about Garage Inc. too is because I didn't have the original EP that was out of print.
Same here.
And I didn't obviously I didn't have the Creeping Death single, and they put all those covers on disc 2, which is where I lived mostly on disc 2.
Same here.
But yeah, I mean, this is a really for fans like you and me who were younger, this was a great covers compilation because it took everything we couldn't get and it put it into one spot. Now there's some covers on here I hate, like the Nick Cave one. Oh my god, what was that? Astrology? No, wait.
Astronomy. Blue is the quote, right? I can't remember.
That was okay. There's a really terrible one. What's that Nick Cave one? It's towards the end of the album. Shit, I'll look it up. I can't think of it.
I love So What from that punk band.
Oh, Anti-Nowhere
Yeah.
League, is that them?
Yeah, them. Yeah, that's why I love.
So good.
Yes, that made me go. I went out and I got Melissa and Don't Break the Oath. I got the Roadrunner editions.
I got into Thin Lizzy because of Whiskey in the Jar, and I was like, wait, they have way better songs than this.
Oh hell yeah, they do. I got into Thin Lizzy because of classic rock radio, man. They played
Lover Man. I hate that one.
Oh, Lover Man. Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yo, Sabracadabra though. I mean, I mean, come on.
And me and Ralph talked about this. And they break into a National Acrobat. How fucking dope is that?
Which, you know what? Like that. Speaking of Black Sabbath, that my brother and I probably love Bloody Sabbath the most. Like it's like my personal favorite. Because of those songs, you know.
As I told you before, Mike, you know what I post on Rock and Metal Combat? I put, Spiral Architect is my favorite song of all time, any genre. Spiral Architect. I don't know, it makes me fucking happy when I'm pissed off, and it's just a great, great song. I worship that song.
I hate the Skinner Tuesday's Gone cover, though. I'm gonna be honest.
Yeah, I don't like that. I don't like Skinner that much anyway. Let's keep it a buck with you. I don't like it that much, man.
Yeah, they're okay. Like it depends on what I'm listening to.
Then S&M comes out, and I don't know. It's all right, I guess.
I loved it when I first got it.
I like, what's the name of that song? Minus Human. What's the name of that fucking song?
Oh,
Minus Human enough.
No Leaf Clover.
No Leaf Clover. Yeah. Oh yeah, that song is amazing. Yes.
It's got
At the end of your tunnel.
This came out around Christmas because
it did. I got it for Christmas.
I remember getting the VHS, dude. I had the VHS and I got the CD, and my mom was, I was, what was this, 99 now, right? Or 99, right?
99, yep.
So I'm about 15, 16. So I would take like a city, like my mom was at home or something. Day one, I didn't even want to wait for her to get home. My butt got on a bus with crazy people, and I went to the mall in a snowstorm, I remember. And I went to the, I don't know what it was called then. It wasn't FYE. It was whatever. You know what I mean? It was whatever it was before FYE. But got them. And then and I had a CD player. Like, this is pre-iPhone. My mom had no idea. I could have been kidnapped by, a crazy homeless guy in the bus. No iPod, obviously. So I had a CD player with me, and I'm boom, pop that S&M right in, and I loved it. It was it was cool to hear these songs with it. Now some aren't, like I don't need the orchestra.
Yeah, that's my vibe with it. That's about it. Yeah,
some really work, like Call of Cthulhu. I thought really, and I actually thought Master of Puppets worked really well with the orchestra as well. Man, yeah, some really good stuff out there.
Yeah, man. I love No Leaf Clover. Then Tragedy Strikes, oh my God, here we go. This is, oh God. Okay, first the documentary. I know it came out after, but Some Kind of Monster.
Which I liked watching.
Yeah, I love the documentary. It's emotional some parts, like especially with Dave Mustaine.
Dave Mustaine Larsing is the best, and you really see Dave.
Yeah.
And this is, and now I saw Dave. This was filmed right after they did a club tour because Megadeth wasn't the biggest thing anymore. I saw Iced Earth open for Megadeth in like a 1,500 person club near me when I was in college. And it was dope, dude. Iced Earth played for 50 minutes. Like banger, 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 banger. And then I was like right against the guardrail with Dave Mustaine right in front of me. I lost my mind. I had a girlfriend at the time in college. She was a short girl, passed out. It was so hot in there. I didn't care. I was like, "You good? We're good." There's even who she wasn't really into that music, but I had watched that documentary so many times. I was telling you I had on DVD. She's like, "Holy shit, Dave, that's Dave." I'm like, "Yes, it's fucking Dave." Right in front of us. And they played like 2 hours, 15 minutes, just like nonstop, like in a club. It was great. And then after that tour, he filmed that thing. And that's where I've always felt for Dave, but I really felt for him then. I really did.
Oh hell yeah! It's like I wish Cliff was here and shit like that, and it's just funny. There's a lot of funny scenes in there. Lars' dad, I would delete that. It's classic. A lot of lines in there too.
When they're talking about Jason, he left
the fucking bed. Yeah, and Lars said he wants to stew in his anger and be alone, and the arguments with James about coming. Like, these guys are some prima donna motherfuckers, man.
poor Kirk. When I don't know if you remember the scene, but James and Lars are like at each other's throat.
Yes, I love it.
And like Kirk is like he's such a peacemaker, but he's also you can tell he's just like he goes and he's not a guy who drives a ship. He's like, come on guys, let's just bang on this song instead of banging on each other. And
what they recorded sounded so trash too. What they were recording.
Oh, remember Lars screaming into the mic? But as bad as this album is, we're talking about Saint Anger, obviously, right?
Yeah.
There's some I do not like this album. It is my least favorite Metallica album. Like I said, Reload is probably worse because it's not original, right? Oh yeah. I mean,
I can't believe I still have it. I can't. But this is the same copy. Day one.
I have it. I have it too.
I can't believe it.
With the green fist. I had an option.
There's a green fist?
Yeah, they had like different colored ones you could
get. I try to keep the tablet like this, but it's gonna fucking.
I was excited at first because I first heard like just like a snippet of the Frantic riff, and I was like, "Oh, that sounds heavy." And actually, of that thing, I'd rather hear those songs on the DVD version than playing it in the studio together. Sounds a little bit better.
Yeah, the DVD came with that shit. Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
The DVD actually sounds better, and I actually watched that a few times. The problem is the
song sucks.
Feel their length. Don't you agree, Mike? Like the songs really feel their length. The lyrics are pretty cringy, but this album is important because it got them back playing a heavier, more aggressive music. It made them a band again, and it let James get some crap out of his system for what would come later. So while I hate the album, but I give them credit because again, this was not a popular musical style when they released it. Metallica was honest with themselves and they played what they wanted. So I will give them that respect for it. I do not like it. Oh, I love when Bob Rock thought he was going to be in the band forever. they're like, he's not going on tour with us.
Playing bass on the album, even though it has Rob Trujillo and the fucking booklet, he's not on the album.
He's on the DVD though.
Yeah, he's on the DVD. This shit sucks, man. Fucking trash. My lifestyle that turns my death style. A rising tide. I don't like nothing on here, bro. Instrumentation is fucking trash. Sounds like Lars is playing on some fucking trash game.
There's a couple good riffs here and there, but it's not a cohesive album.
No.
And I'm with you. I don't like it at all.
No.
But again, I respect Metallica for, they've always done their own thing, and it will give us it's kind of like, you got to put manure down to get plants to grow. And so we're going to reap the benefits after this album, though, I think, of what they went through.
Yeah, 2003 it came out. I got it right after. I was in high school then. I was a fucking, sophomore maybe? Yeah, sophomore, yep. Got the album.
I was fucking in college, yeah.
Yeah, didn't fuck, dude. I don't like this shit at all, man. I put it in.
I wanted to. I was like, oh, it's Metallica and they're heavy again, but it's not good.
Yes, I wasted my fucking money on this shit. I could have bought a bag of weed, man.
What came out right around the same time was Iced Earth's The Glorious Burden. I was like, whoa, this album's way better.
Oh hell yeah. Something Wicked This Way It Comes is my joint.
Oh yeah. Night of the Storm Rider is my favorite by them. Evil as hell.
Dope band, man.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Saint Anger's just yeah, hell yeah. Saint Anger just a trash album. Never did anything for me, dude. I tried to revisit it, and it was just trash. But fast forward to many, many years later. Not to mention it got Rob Trujillo in the group.
Again,
You know what I mean?
It got them. and it got them as a band, and they started touring. Even though they were touring on this album, they were in a better place as a band, and it showed on the next album for sure.
Yes, 2008, man. Death Magnetic. Rick Rubin producing the album, and I have to say, I fucking love this album. I
I do
really,
too.
truly do.
It sounds like shit, in my opinion. I
See,
don't.
with me, and I'm not an audiophile, okay, but you do know when something sounds like shit. I don't see it. I don't know. Maybe
It's very trebly. Like if you turn this up to, it kind of feels like it's like been recorded on like a cheap boombox in certain areas. Like if you start turning the volume up at certain parts, it's not. It just doesn't sound. It does like if you take the sound. If you listen to Death Magnetic, right? And I always knew it didn't sound great. And then like I'd listen to Hardwired right after. I'm like, "Whoo, Hardwired sounds really good,
God,
really good."
Yes. Who fucking? I don't want to say who fucking mixed and mastered it, man. I don't think they don't want to. You knew it
They
was
don't
probably shit. Nah. But I love this fucking album. The first single was Cyanide, and I lost my fucking mind. I was in the middle of FYE, right? And that's the first time I heard it was an FYE. And I was like, oh my God, I know that voice. That's fucking Hetfield. That's Metallica. And it blew my mind. And I just couldn't wait. Came out like Christmas time, '08. If I'm not, or like, no. Fall,
around that
08. Yeah. I copped it the same day it came out, man. Fucking blown away. This when MySpace was kind of still popping. I remember talking to my friend on MySpace about the album, and yeah, and it was just amazing. I love my Apocalypse. So fucking heavy. All Nightmare Long is incredible. Shout out to my little brother Jordan that plays the guitar. He's nasty. He plays that shit on guitar. Um, Amazing album, man. I love it. Top three for me will be Broken Beat and Scarred, Cyanide, and My Apocalypse, man. You know, and after the fucking shit fest of Saint Anger, this was like music to my ears, man. I gotta listen to it again fully to understand the shit quality of it because I never really heard it. But I love this album, man. I would give it a strong four, man. Death Magnetic for me. I'll let Mike talk about this album.
Yeah, I feel the same way. It was like really a return to form. And I was like, this is Metallica playing heavy music in 2008. I remember hearing Cyanide, liking it. And then when I got the album, I heard the first track. That was Just Your Life. Oh my God, love that song. Love that song. And then End of the Line right after. I'm like, oh, this is another banger. Broken Beat Scar. I love The Day That Never Comes. That's a great kind of. It kind of reminds me of what Maiden did with The Matter of Life and Death, like those really kind of anthemic war songs.
Good album.
Yeah, that's an underrated Maiden album. It's like post Bruce reunion, Adrian. That's like that's my second favorite, right next to Brave New World.
The World, my favorite too. 2000.
That's one of the best comeback albums. I don't care who.
Fuck yeah, I love that album.
Killer from start to finish. I don't care what anyone says.
Same here, bro.
The first 6 tracks I absolutely adore on this album. End of the Line, Broken Beat Scar, Day That Never Comes, All Nightmare Long, Cyanide, Love. Unforgiven 3 is boring to me.
Yeah, no, I'm with you, bro. I'm with you.
Judas Kiss is good. It's a little long. I love but I do love the instrumentals, Suicide and Redemption and My Apocalypse. Love it. So yeah, like thrashy. So my top 3 would be number 1, that was just Your Life. Love that song. 2, this is tough. Number 2, My Apocalypse, and number 3, The Day That Never Comes, probably. Love those tracks.
That was like the second single I heard.
Yeah, and then I end up getting the import. They had that. I think they were in Mexico, and they released a DVD. But I went and got the version that had the DVD and like the 2 discs because they were busting out songs they hadn't busted out forever, like Ride the Lightning, Disposable Heroes, and then they were playing Broken Beat and Scarred on that, which is great. And Justice for All, Fight Fire with Fire. So Metallica was, and why Saint Anger was important too is because they started to go back and Metallica's always been there to vary their set list. But after this period, I think Robert Trujillo wanted to play some of these songs they haven't played before. And Metallica really became a band. Like, you want to talk about like anti-Kiss and even like Maiden, like, you know, you're going to get your staples. That's why when I saw them on the Book of Souls tour, they busted, instead of playing 2 Minutes to Midnight, which they always would play, they busted out Power. They busted out Power Slave. And I was like, yeah, I'll take Power Slave every day of the week over 2 Minutes to Midnight. But Metallica really became a band like kind of like what Pearl Jam does. We're going to play different set lists every night, and we're going to record them every night, and we're going to give them to the fans if they want them. Like, so with my ticket, when I saw them, I got a free download of the show I went to. So I'll always have that instead of having to buy it. So Metallica really embraced playing different set lists, busting out songs they haven't in a while. And so even though Saint Anger is a terrible album, it was an important kind of like metamorphosis for them to go forward and be, you know, a healthy, cohesive unit again. Like, if you look at their touring now, this worldwide tour has been long, but they only tour 2 or 3 weeks at a time. They take 2 or 3 weeks off, and they go out for 2 or 3 weeks. I think that's for James to keep him, you know, grounded with his family and stuff like
and they're at 50s too, just killing shit.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
But I like, this is a really, I mean, I was like, oh, my boys are back.
Oh, yeah. And then, in my opinion, Mike, more so in 2016.
Oh, yeah.
Man.
When I first heard Hardwired,
yeah,
I was like, oh, shit.
It came out of fucking nowhere. Like, my ex-girlfriend at the time I was with, she told me about it. And I looked it up. And, man, I lost my fucking mind. Okay? I was like, yo, they're back. And then it came out around my birthday. November, like 2016, I want to say, somewhere around there. Uh-huh. And I was just blown away, Mike. I worship this album, man. Atlas Rise, Moth into a Flame.
That's very Maiden, that song.
I agree, bro. My favorite, though.
If you watch the making of it, its working title was Nawabum, like New Wave of British Heavy Metal.
That's dope. my favorite on here, man. Me and Ralph talk about this a lot. Halo on Fire.
That is an amazing song.
I play it on Spotify. I just keep it on loop, you know? Repeat it. Love that fucking song.
James sounds so good on it.
Oh, yeah. Man Unkind is fucking incredible as well.
It has the black metal video, right?
Oh, God. That fucking trailer to Lords of Chaos, dude. You see that yet?
No, I haven't seen it. But you know that video was done by that guy, Jonas, whatever.
These motherfuckers ain't even talking in a Norwegian accent. It is fucking trash.
Oh, is it really?
That. Yeah.
I heard they make Mayhem to seem like a bunch of like which I knew. Like, if you know the Mayhem story, you know they're kind of poser-ish. You know what I mean?
Euronymous shit. Yeah.
Yeah, Varg and Euronymous, those two fucking lunatics. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Oh, you're gonna tell me Varg was a racist? I already know that. I already know he's a neo-Nazi.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He's got, you know, that, but I know it's off topic, but that nihilistic bent though makes black metal great, in my opinion.
Yeah, I could be a hypocrite. I'm a black guy that loves fucking Philosophy, whatever the fuck that album's called. You know what I mean? I love that album. But
oh, really?
Yeah, the Burzum.
I hate Burzum. My brother and I always get in arguments. I'm like, I fucking can't stand Burzum. They're just boring to me. But that's me.
I don't blame you. I like it, but I'm more of a fan of.
And I hate Varg. I hate him so much.
Oh yeah, he's a stuck-up cocksucker. Yeah, fuck that guy.
Like, he would have been, honestly, like in 1941, he would have been an amazing Nazi. Like, if he lived in Germany, he'd be an SS. I mean, he wouldn't be a guy who just fought in the war for Germany. He'd be an SS officer. That's how fucking horrible of a human being I feel he is. But that's me. Fuck that guy.
Yeah, I'm with you, man. Fucking.
I'm a World War II buff, so I know my World War II in and out. And I mean, everyone knows about the Holocaust, right? But like, I've read about like 40 books on World War II and seen countless docs. I probably know things in detail about the Holocaust that most people don't, because there's so much. You get broad strokes of it. If you really delve deep in it, it is the most horrific thing you could ever read about. It really is. Like, I have read things that made me so upset and angry. I just sat silenced by myself for like an hour. Just couldn't comprehend it. Like, you know what I mean? Not to get off topic, but that's.
Oh no, it's all good.
So when I talk about Varg like that, I'm telling you from like an experience, because I mean, the philosophy and everything behind World War II is fascinating, the strategy and everything. But these people were truly evil people, and I feel Varg is that. Honestly, I really do.
Yeah, I'm more a fan of motherfucking
But
Immortal.
I'm not hating on you for liking it.
Oh yeah, I like it, but I'm not. It's not as much of a favorite of mine as fucking the Live Mayhem album, Live in Leipzig and fucking Immortal and fucking Darkthrone. I worship Darkthrone already, man. So.
Yeah, me and you are there with Immortal and Darkthrone. Honestly,
yes.
Mayhem, I only like Death Crush, and Mysterious and Live in Leipzig. That's all I like. Everything else is garbage. I
never even listened to it, man. I'm more of an Immortal, Darkthrone guy. People hate on Immortal. I fucking love Immortal.
Oh, I love
Especially the stuff with Demonized, though. The stuff with Demonized is my favorite shit.
I really love old Demi Borgir, like Spiritual Black Dimensions is such an underrated. That album never gets talked about.
My favorite Demi Borgir album is that Fatid. Oh, I can't even fucking say this shit. Came out like a 90.
That was wild. Yeah, that's really atmospheric.
The newer shit, they're kind of geeky and shit, but that album is fucking dope, man.
I really loved, like, I got into them with Death Cult Armageddon, really, because for me, that's one of the first black metal bands I got into, so they were a good band because they are like a heavy metal band that has black metal influence at that time. So it had the metal riffs I liked, and then I started getting, it introduces you into the black metal slowly. So it was kind of like the Black Album for black metal. Because that was a huge album in the mid-2000s. Death Cult Armageddon.
There's an old video I did on here by myself. I'm on camera. You can see me when my show's working. It's called How I Got Into Metal. And shout out to my boy Corey Urban. He's a fucking nurse now. He in junior high school, he got me into death and black metal, man. And I never looked back. Like that early shit.
Yep.
Love that shit, man. But yeah, man. Hardwired. Top 3 tracks for me is definitely Halo on Fire, Atlas Rise, and Spit Out the Bone.
Yep, there it is.
I'll let Mike talk about this great album, man.
Yeah, I mean, both discs are amazing. I got the 3-disc version that had their live record store day appearance, where they busted out like Demolition, and they have the Maiden cover, Remember Tomorrow, on there.
I love that fucking song, you know that?
Oh, that's
colors.
That would have been Paul's best performance if he'd never recorded Strange World. That's his best vocal performance. Oh my god.
Oh yeah.
But this album was like, yes, it's death magnetic, but actually, I love both discs. Some people don't like disc 2. It's disc 2 is more riffier, chunkier than disc 1, I think.
I love both.
I love them too. This album sounds amazing. The band sounds better than like they have. This is the next best album after Justice, in my opinion. Like, I'd put it over the Black Album.
I put it over Black Album too, dude. Niggas might think I'm crazy, but yo, that shit is a fucking banger, man.
It is. Top 3, number 1, Spit Out the Bone is like one of the best thrash songs they've done since Damage Inc. or Blackened. Spit Out the Bone, number 1. Number 2, Atlas Rise.
Well, yeah, it's my top 3 too, man.
And number 3, Halo on Fire. Is that your top 3? Just different order?
Yeah.
Man. But it's such a great album. That opening track. When I heard Hardware, I'm like, oh, I'm getting this album. I don't care what the rest of it sounds like.
Oh yeah.
And they were great on this tour. When I saw them, they played. They obviously played Hardwired, and then Atlas Rise, Moth into the Flame, which is a great song. and they played Confusion, which they hadn't done much of, which sounded great because at first it sounds like, I think it's a nod to Am I Evil a little bit.
Yeah, you could tell.
But yeah, killer song. Oh, and Now That We're Dead, love that. Underrated song, Dream No More. Oh my God, that is such a good song. Heavy. That's like a better version than Sabbath True, in my opinion.
Oh yeah, man, that's fucking.
It's got that chuggy. Thick. It's like thick. It's like, it's like the Pog of metal riffs, right? You know what I'm talking about, Pogs?
I had fucking Mortal Kombat and Street Fighter Pogs, man. Hell yeah.
No, I'm talking about Fat Ass White Girl. Pog. P-A-W-G.
Fucking 90s Pogs as a kid. Those little circle things.
I heard OJ Slammer.
Yeah, all right. Yeah. I love white bitches, by the way. Hell yeah. But
it's like a Pog riff.
Yeah.
Thick, but it's got what you want. Yeah. Great song. I mean, I love this album. I'm excited to see where they go after here.
Yeah, man, Hardwired is a masterpiece, bro. Like the Murder One, the tribute to Lemmy. I love that fucking video too.
Mm-hmm.
Hardwired is great, man. I love this album. It's still fresh. Only about 3 years old, but I still listen to it. And yeah, the Metallica Discography, man. Thank you, Mike. I don't want to take too much of your time. I was late. I was gonna hit you up on my phone. I didn't bring my fucking phone. Like everything went bad. The computer crashed.
I'm just glad that you wanted to do this with me because this band, while they're probably my second favorite band, to be honest with you. But
oh yeah, you know what else I want to do with you one day, bro? I want to break down a whole album with you one day, like track by track.
Yeah, perfect. Yeah. But I mean, this is such a special band for me. Their songs are more than just songs to me, and I'm just so glad you want to do this because it's great to be able to just talk about everything they've done. I mean, for as many again, I will always give Metallica credit for being honest, and they've had some lows, but dude, no one, and not even the Mighty Black Sabbath, can touch their highs, in my opinion. Like whether you want to talk about commercially or artistically, like they took heavy metal and made it huge in a time when heavy metal was dying. It really was.
Metallica's in my top 5 too, man. They have top 5. Fucking Black Sabbath.
For like the first 4 albums alone, they have to be in your top 5.
I always say this. Me and my uncle say this. The holy trinity of metal, in my opinion, is Sabbath, Maiden, Priest. And then Metallica's right after them. If you don't like them, you're not metal. I'm sorry. That's just me.
Holy trinity for me would be Maiden, Sabbath, because you have to have Sabbath, and Metallica. I'd put Metallica over Priest. In my opinion. It's just my opinion.
Yeah, I'm not angry at that either, man. Because I was a Metallica fan before I was a Priest fan, but that way. You know?
Same here. Yeah. And I was a Maiden fan before Priest fan as well. And you know what? As much as I thought Priest was very innovative in the 70s, and while they made great albums in the 80s, they followed trend. Like no one talks about that about Priest.
Oh God, fucking Turbo, suck my dick.
But not just that though. Like as great as Screaming for Vengeance and Defenders, they were always kind of following the new sound. Like Priest has always evolved. And for good, but like Painkiller is an amazing album, but they were always following the new sound. Yeah,
same year as fucking Rust came out, man.
Mm-hmm. Rust. I mean, I think it's an ode to thrash metal. I think they wanted to be more contemporary, and that's why I give Metallica and Maiden credit because I look at those two bands very similar, where they are like, we're just gonna do what we feel like doing, and we don't care what the climate is. Like people try to lump in Somewhere in Time as a album of a time because it uses synth. I'm sorry, Somewhere in Time does not sound anything like Turbo, doesn't sound anything like hair metal. I mean, people who label it because they don't like how it sounds that much different from Power Slave, I don't care. It sounds like Maiden to me. I don't know what you feel about Somewhere in Time. I think it's a brilliant album.
I love it, Mike. I did a Maiden video on here. I think the first time I ever seen you were with Joseph and my boy Greg Barnes, and I did a response to that video, and I love Somewhere in Time.
I saw that. Yeah,
Yeah, I love Somewhere in Time. I love fucking Seventh Son of a Seventh Son. After that's kind of shaky with me, but 80 to 88 Maiden is everything to me. You know what I mean?
Like, can you think of a? I can't think of one band that put. I mean, you want to talk about classic all-time albums? They put out banger, 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 banger.
Yeah.
Like, we're talking about genre. These were genre-defining albums as well.
Even during the changing of singers, not Blaze Bailey. Fuck him. I'm talking about Paul and Bruce. That was the
Like, I
great
think
transition to that.
see, look at Ralph feels the way he feels, and I will always value Ralph's opinion because Ralph is very honest. But you know how it is on the page. A lot of people suck up to Ralph. No one was talking about how they hated Bruce before I heard Ralph talk. And Ralph doesn't even hate Bruce. He just prefers Paul. But I never heard this talk until like I joined the rock and metal because they all follow Ralph's lead. And Ralph even calls him out. Bruce is Maiden would have never been as big as they were, I don't feel, without Bruce.
No.
I think
fuck Ralph
Bruce,
was. You know what I mean? Which is
and I think Bruce helped open up Steve more as a songwriter. I really do. Whether Paul could have handled it or not, it's what Steve feels. You know what I mean? It's what he comes up with. I think when he had Bruce, Steve felt he could write any type of song he wanted to and not worry about if a singer could sing it, essentially.
Yeah. Bruce is amazing, man. Absolutely.
And one of the best frontmen you will ever see. I'm heading to Mansfield again because that's where I saw them on the Book of Souls tour.
Yeah.
Because you're out, Matt. Yeah. So I'm heading to the Legacy of the Beast tour this summer. Cannot wait, dude. Dude, they're playing Flight of Icarus. Aces High, even stuff like the Great Blaze stuff, Sign of the Cross with Bruce. You ever hear Bruce do that song? It's amazing.
No, I never did, man.
Check out the Rock in Rio. Check out Sign of the Cross with Bruce Dickinson. Oh my god, it's a totally different song.
Oh yeah, Mike. I'll check that out. Getting close to midnight. I don't want to take your time. I enjoyed the fuck out of this.
Me too, brother.
Thank you so much, brother. You're welcome back any fucking time. Thank you to the chat that's in here.
Hit me up.
All right. Got you, brother. So sorry for the inconveniences as well. Yeah, yo. See you on the flip side. Peace. Thank you, Mike. Appreciate it, brother.
Peace, brother.